people will not do what you tell them to do. If they know you're going to check on them. So I wrapped some incentives to the monitoring system. I tell you, the kind of results that I got was the same people, just giving them some incentive. They turn into different animals. I could not even recognize them. What I was doing was I issue some instructions, pack my bag, and I leave. So I come back the next day. Have you done what I asked you to do? Oh, yes, I'm. And they still won't do it. But I'm so busy with other things that I don't really monitor how the new patients were coming in, because I'm busy back there cleaning teeth, drilling teeth. So I might forget. 2 weeks later, I'll be like, can I see the report? So they'll be looking at each other like, you go give it. Well, you know what it is. My favorite staff will come and say, doctor, we didn't do it. I can't get angry. So what I'm saying in essence is that some of these things, if you make a list of them and just keep it somewhere, you know even your own weakness very quickly. I thought I was so good a manager, but I was lacking in monitoring people. That's my contribution.
Brilliant. Okay. A few things. Are we on the internet already? Let's greet and welcome everybody that is on Facebook. Hello, everybody. Blessings. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Are you still alive? Making a living? Is he still here? What about you? You want to tell me about it? Huh? You want to do some drop? What do you call it? Ear drops or what do you call it?
You want to eavesdrop?
Eavesdrop. You want to do some eavesdrops? Few questions. Number one question: are you people alive? What I made a statement when doctor was speaking that he said has been through this before. I said you've been through this hell before, and Davida just agreed. He said it's hell. It's hell. And let me tell you, it's not just you thinking it's hell. People who are watching at home, but we only broadcast it today only in the morning and evening. Other days we'll be broadcast only in the evening. Today we only broadcasted 2 times, morning and just the evening one they were starting now. It was only morning they had witnessed, and they were saying, no, it's too intense, too intense, too intense, too hard. They were thinking it's hell just by attending one session. So, I know where you're coming from. Yeah, I know where you're coming from. Is it hot like hell?
I don't know what hell looks like.
I'm asking David that I this, who says, that's what you've got to make of your life if you want to be a history maker. Joshua, I was talking with somebody on phone today, on Skype, and the person was telling me he envies Joshua because Joshua is living in my house. I said, you want to envy him, really? He said, I wish I was living with you and learning. I said, ask him how many hours he sleeps first now, before you begin to envy him. People don't look at it from that side. Then when I told him that the guy is working 18 hours a day, even without me monitoring him anymore. And he said, if I were the one, I would run away. So, first of all, you were saying you were envying him. Now you say you will run away. Success will always demand from you a little bit more than you are willing to give. Success will always demand from you to do a little bit more than you are willing to give. So it's now the question of who is ready to give that more and to go that extra mile than you are comfortable giving. Success will demand more from you than you are willing to give. So that's number one question. Are you still alive? Yes. No answer. Yes. Which means it's time to go to the code. No. Well, if I don't get any response, I need to wake you up. I need to wake you up somehow. So I'm saying, are you still alive? The answer came clear and loud. Number two, this thing about the code, is that the confirmation of what Dr. Shorunke just said? I gave some incentives. And they turn to another animal. Just like I said, let's go to the code, and you turn to another animal. It became loud and clear. Your responses. Incentives are great stuff. People don't always do what you expect them to do or instruct them to do. They do what you will inspect. What they know that you are going to inspect. Okay, not what you expect, but what you inspect. So, the next thing I want to find out from you is, that is the thing you already spoke about, I know, but I'm going to address my own question in a way that will connect it to what we have been learning and what your destiny is, what you are planning to do, and all that. So what we went through this morning, and listen closely here now, what you went through this morning, the process you went through this morning, even though you still need time to go through it over and over again, and the more you dwell in it, the better it is for you. So you still need to go, and yeah. So, but do you sense that there is a jewel here, there is a diamond somewhere here? Yeah. You just need to sense and intuitively pick it up that, I'm laying my hands on something here. Who feels that? You all feel it. Huh? But now it's at the tip of your fingers. You can feel it at the tip of your fingers. If you exploit, if you will really dig deep, you are at the verge of some great discoveries, even about yourself, about life, yourself, and about your destiny. And you are holding in your hands what 99% of people living in our own planet Earth don't know. Maybe that will help you to also know that I might not be as crazy as people who think I am when they hear me talk about, what I'm planning to do, about what I'm doing. Maybe I'm not totally crazy after all. You think I'm not? You think I'm not? It's interesting to know that she thinks I'm not. I'm not. Because the thing with visionaries is that they are so far away from other people. And they have gone so far ahead that to the ordinary people, like I told you in the morning, there were 3 categories of people. Those who are living life, who are just living, as they say. For those people living life, they are not normal. And that's why I wanted to find out, are you really sure I'm normal? You are. If you feel that I am normal, it means you are catching up. you could get why I was asking that question. But if it's still out of this world for you, it means you need more catching up to do. Because you are still living the ordinary life, the mundane life. You need to run. You need to rush. You need to quicken your steps very fast. You need to do some intensive training on yourself. Or you might be saying I'm normal, but really you are feeling this guy is out of this world. Anyhow, you gauge yourself. The other people, the second category of people that I spoke about in the morning, are people who know that there are rules and principles in life, and they need to fear God, obey God, try to live by the Bible, but they are still just better than the people who are just going through the motions, but nothing spectacular about them. And the third category of people that I spoke to you in the morning are the people who know that the earth and life itself could be managed and controlled. And whatever the word you told me about, just like you use the car, is it control? You steer life. You steer life. I mean, just like you steer the car, that you can actually be in charge of life as well and steer it. Is that not beautiful? So that's what I'm saying. When I am talking about that position of awareness, that life could be monitored, could be controlled, could be steered, and could be managed and ruled over. And I'm now saying, from my perspective of where I'm coming from, you don't even want to go through some of my comments that, not on this live show, but when I talk on, like, Sufficient does take some interview from me, ask Pastor Sunday, some of my answers, if you see some of the comments that are coming in, people are thinking, this guy is totally crazy. I mean, he's lost it. I guess it's because some of the things I'm saying, this just make it. So they are now using their own lower level to judge my level. And they are they are so certain that they are the ones who are right. It's just like saying, when I wrote articles about Nigeria and why I was campaigning for Buhari, for example, to win, and some people were commenting on that, and they were so convinced that, how can you as a preacher, that guy has backslided? Why? So what made me backslide? How can you be a preacher and then you are going to talk about political things? Go back to your first love. So they were so convinced from there, because they are living the ordinary life. They don't even know where I'm coming from. So I'm saying, in the sense that, okay, for example, let's even assume that I'm missing it. But why should you be so sure of your own position? You are nobody. It's just like saying, I'm coming to Bill Gates now. And I said, Bill Gates, you said you made money that way. You know what? That thing you say you make money, that thing you say is a way to make money, it's not possible. Repent. So he will say, what, in the first place, who are you? How much have you made? So when you ask Joshua, if you see some of the comments that were coming in, I am Pastor Sunday, and they are just no human being even knows they are existing, apart from the only thing to their benefit is that they have a computer where they can type on from their own house. They don't have enough data. So that is their height of importance, that they had that one data for 1 hour to be able to type something in. And these people are saying, okay, you are losing our respect now. You are losing respect. I have been following you for 1 year. Now, if you are going to continue this way, I'm just going to unsign myself from your... Wow! It's as if I'm the one who had been following him. So people are confident, though. Some people are both. It's just like some people come to my platform, my own platform, where I'm just doing my own thing. I didn't go to look for them. Even if they come, I don't even know who they are. So they now come and say, Pastor, you need to change this your position, because if you don't, I will just the people will look, as if that your presence is what is feeding me. I don't know if you are coming from where I come. So I'm even thinking, I'm saying, bro. No, because even it doesn't even cross my mind to tell you to stop doing what you are doing. I don't even come to your own page to tell you to stop doing what you are doing. Even when I'm reading your opinion and I'm seeing that you are wrong, I could comment and tell you my opinion. This is what I think. But I don't give you a condition because I even know for sure, guaranteed, I can prove it, that you are wrong. But you cannot prove anything. But you are still saying, giving me condition and saying, if you don't change, you this, I will happen. I don't even tell you like that. I don't even relate to anyone like that. Even my own members in church, I don't even relate to them that way. That, you do this, or this will happen. Who am I? I am their pastor. I am, in this Ukraine here, I'm like larger than life. I don't even do that. To my own member, I don't even do that. To my own kitchen staff, I don't even do that. To my gardeners, I don't even do that. I can only suggest to you and tell you my opinion. But I don't even know if the name you are using is a name, if that person is even alive or not, or it's just a fake. And under that fake or whatever, you are coming and telling me, if you don't change now, we are going to do this and this. You are losing your authority, or you are losing your influence. You will just become irrelevant. So you will be on my platform that makes me relevant. You can use it that the only thing that will come out of my mouth is what my old grandmother used to say, which one be this? Are people so confident? Why has that confidence not helped them to change the world or to bring even themselves some relevance? At least themselves. Because I thought you should have thought that, okay, this guy has lived, even if I've not achieved anything at all, but I've lived 50 years, walk on the surface of this earth for 50 years, and I managed to walk about somehow, and I managed to exist up to today. So why is it that you that was born 30 years ago that is now coming to say, the thing you have done for 30 years is wrong, may have come to for 50 years? I've been walking around and living and breathing fresh air for 50 years, and I'm still managing to breathe and to exist. So you are now the one that was born 20 years later that is now coming and saying that they are not breathing well. Oh, let me tell you how and teach you how to breathe. And you have not even reached 50 for yourself. You don't even know if you ever reach that 50. But I think this is probably possible only with Nigerians. We are exceptionally gifted. So when I said, do you think I'm normal? It is possible that it might appear to you that I'm not normal, which is legitimate. I believe that for 75% of people, anything I do and say is not normal. And I respect that. But they should know also that the fact that it appears to them as abnormal doesn't necessarily mean I am the one who is wrong. But our people don't like to give other people benefit of the doubt. Could you doubt yourself a little bit? And say, in case, especially since this man has got some track record, and you don't have as much track record. Maybe he could be right. Suppose he's right. Well, at least at worst, why don't you just leave him alone and say, okay, let him go his own way, let's see. Or let time tell. Let the result tell. But for you to just come because I don't understand, it means you are wrong. So I'm writing a book now. Next year, early next year, I'm going to release the book. And the book is going to be called Pastor, Face Your Calling. Because that's what they were telling me. Otherwise, you will lose relevance. Pastor, face your calling. But if I face my calling, this thing I want to show you today, I will not be showing you. And today I want to show you my plans for Nigeria, for the whole, total, and absolute, holistic transformation of Nigeria. Somebody is saying, how could you talk like that? But there are government there. There is president, governor, there are politicians. I don't care who is there. I know what I know. I am not responsible for what they know or what they don't know. I know what I know. So even though it might sound crazy for you, but just wait now. Let me fail first. So for you to now say that it's crazy, it's illusion, it's delusional. In fact, some people who have said I am delusional with this Nigeria thing. I said, you are bored, though. You just came to that conclusion. Babu. And put it. That's your own diagnosis of me. I've been delusional when I came here. They said no black man can ever lead white people. Thank God I was delusional enough to believe myself. I have never seen any more delusional person than Donald Trump. Look what has happened. I've not. You thought I'm delusional. Go learn from him. I don't know any human being more delusional than that. Maybe it's delusional people that rule the world, though. Because you've got to believe in yourself so much until other people think you are crazy. So, today I'm going to be talking to you about Nigeria. And I'm going to present to you a system. I've told you how to build systems. Now I'm going to present to you, this is not a system yet, but a preliminary, preparatory system that will make you to believe, that will turn you to a believer, that Nigeria can be fixed. The only thing that will stop that is probably if God himself stops me or takes me home. So, why am I saying this? Because of what I know. In fact, I'm even hesitating to talk now again. Because I'm just thinking, why should I even talk? Maybe I shouldn't tell you anything. Let's just wait and see. I just told you in the morning that there are no limitations in life. You are only limited by what you know or what you don't know. The only limitation in life is the limitation of your mind. You know the things to do or you don't know the things to do. Why do I talk the way I talk? Because of what I know. And not just what I know, but what I've tried. And what has worked for me. You think I've done anything in Ukraine? You think you have seen anything here? No. I've just finished kindergarten in the Ukraine. It was my school. Because in Ukraine, where they hate me, they are killing me every day. KGB is working 24 hours. There are 236 people that are working just to stop me on government pay. Secret people and police and detectives and everybody. And I'm still producing. So, but by the time I am in a territory where I can do what I want to do, even despite that, the disciple says that the word of God cannot be bound. Wisdom cannot be stopped. And grace cannot be limited. Do you know I don't even go to preach in church? I go once a month maybe. We have 40 churches. I don't even know where they are meeting. In Kyiv. I'm not talking Ukraine, no. That one is 400. I don't even go there. I'm talking of the city of Kyiv. I don't even go. I don't even know where the meetings are. And I'm the senior pastor. Where some senior pastors who are my friend, they have to buy a helicopter or something to be flying from one branch to the other every Sunday morning. Because if they don't appear, the church will scatter. In America, in your country, that happens in your country. In fact, in Los Angeles, I've been there with another friend of mine who put me in a helicopter to be flying from one branch to the other. When I came back home, I would rather sit down at home in my own JJ and just enjoy my sleep. Can you imagine they put you in the helicopter? You minister 45 minutes here and once 45 minutes there. But if you don't appear, the thing will scatter. Okay, so I hope I could turn you to believers that there is hope for Africa. There is hope for Nigeria. I'm going to show you a little bit about some of the plans that we are putting together for Nigeria and what I'm planning to go and do there. A lot of people are afraid now that I'm coming to steal church members. And they are scared I'm coming to start a church. I don't know. Why do you think I need a church to be relevant? Maybe some people do, but I don't. I'm relevant all by myself, just like I don't need anything, no church or no member, nothing. Just by myself, I'm already relevant. It also depends on what you know. Because my essence is and my resource is not in what I possess. Because if any time I begin to measure myself, my measurement, and I begin to measure myself by what I possess, then I'm very poor. It means that I'm defined by what I have. If I'm defined by what I have or possess, it means I don't possess anything. I am zero. Because anything that you possess in the outside could be taken from you or could perish. Ask Job. So, if it is that is defining me, then I'm a poor man. That's what Paul was trying to say. If all we have hope in is in things of this earth, physical things, we are of all men most. But we don't live like that, we Christians. We are rather striving to have the things that he said will make us miserable. We are supposed to be living and be wealthy, not by what we possess or have, but by what we are. That's what caused the catastrophe in the Garden of Eden. They were already great by who they are. But Satan tried to convince them that they will be greater by what they have. So they tried to go for what they want to have. When they began to look outside for what they want to have, they lost who they were. So the problem of sin in the Garden of Eden, therefore, is not a problem of fruits. It's a problem of either you are going to live by what is inside, or you are going to live by what you possess. And the fight of life still, up to now, is still in that. Either you are going to be living by faith, which is the only way to please God. That is why when they began to look by what they see, they stop pleasing God. And when we keep on striving for things outside, things to possess, things to have, all those things, we stop pleasing God. But when we begin to live by things we know, things we are, inside knowledge, the capacity we build in us, we make him happy. So when people, even who are pastors, are thinking, I'm coming to gather members, they need to know this guy. They need to know this guy. Those things don't define me. I have not allowed myself to be defined by them. I don't need to have a church to be defined, to be wealthy, to be significant. I don't need money to be wealthy. I never have money. You know, people who know me, they will tell you, I'm always empty pocket. I'm always empty pocket. You see? It's always empty. Never. I'm at the mercy of God. Everything I'm hearing now is because somebody gave me. I never buy anything. This one, even underwear, somebody has to give me. Anything I don't have, it means I don't need. Why? Because I live from inside. I live by faith. I live by knowledge, by what I know, by assurance, by walking in the invisible. That doesn't mean I don't have resources outside, but I don't depend on them. It's just like this house now. Do you think I'm aware I have a house like this? 2 houses. Do you think I'm aware I have it? I don't know. I don't even remember. I don't even know on whose name these houses are. It's true. It's true. It's true. Yeah, she might know. She might know. But that's true. I don't even bother. It might not be on her too. I don't tie myself down by things that are going to perish or things that I'm going to leave behind. Same with wife or children, everything. Things outside shouldn't define who you are. You are supposed to be defined by what is inside. That's the lesson in the Garden of Eden. That's the lesson of Paul. Have them. Thank God for them. I was just talking the other day about cars. I don't even know if we have cars or we don't have cars. I know we have, but I don't care. I don't even know their names. Which is working, which is not working. Don't depend on them. So that's what Jesus was trying to say when he said, seek the kingdom. Where is the kingdom? Where can I touch it? The kingdom of God is inside of you. Make that kingdom bigger and bigger inside of you. All of that is house, cars, wife, children, they will be added to you. But still, when they are added, make you go don't be distracted from inside to go outside and be looking for them and live by them. Then you will be committing the same sin Adam and Eve committed. So, but even though they were there before, but their focus was not on them. You see, those fruits were there before. But the battle was that they were now living by them. They were now focusing on them. They were there before. That's the way we are supposed to live today. The houses will still be there. The millions will still be there. The cars will still be there. But don't live by their awareness. That shouldn't be the source of your joy or your dependency. Or I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Huh? Yeah, you shouldn't. They are too tiny. They are too little. They are too insignificant. What's significant should be what is inside of you. Is that not beautiful? So when I'm going to Nigeria, people are scared and say, he's going to do. I might not even start a church. If God doesn't tell me to start, I will not even start. But I will still be as efficient and as significant as I would if I have a church. Just like I was telling you the other day, can you be as effective? Can you preach as effectively if you never open your mouth? You should be. You should be. You should be. Can you still preach effectively if you never preach? Can you ever preach effectively if you never even hold the Bible anymore? We used to be able to live an effective life. That's the higher level of life. That's why the just shall live, not by the things you see or by faith. What is faith? Where can I see it? Anyway. Okay, that's a little break before we start our next session. But I need to hear you. I need to hear you back before I start my next session. What are you hearing? What did you hear? Okay, if you don't talk, I'm going to remove all of you, and you are going to be here till 4 o'clock in the morning, because this is going to be very long. So who is going to talk now? What are you hearing? What are you getting? Okay, then stand up all of you. Anyone that wants to sit down on time should be the first ones to come out. And until you speak, you don't sit. Huh? Yeah, this is the mic. Huh? What? There is not. It's a principle. Principles are not shifted. Principle cannot be begged. Principles are rules. You, since you already knew me, you know, people don't do what they are instructed to do. Huh? They don't do what they, yeah, say it. People don't do what they are expected to do. They only do what they are inspected. Inspected. What is inspected? They don't do what is expected, they do what is inspected. So you people knew what was expected, but you wanted to let me prove it practical on you. Work for you. So you didn't do the one that was expected when I say come out and talk. Oh. And I say if you don't come out and talk, that the other rule will take place. And that's how I'm teaching you how you should work with your people later on. And how you should work with yourself. If you want to be a history maker, you must be faithful to principles. Principles are more important than you. Because you will not be here, principles will still be here. And when you give your word, when you speak your word, you must make yourself a slave to that word. You must make yourself, the word should never change. The principles should never change. You should bend yourself. You should become a slave to your commitment, to your vision, and to your dream. So that's why I just can't help it. It's just the principle. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, for me, sir, it's a mindset surgery, if you like. Okay, my mind is being transformed, is being expanded, especially to convince myself that actually anything is possible. That anything is possible if I know what to do, and I do what I know to do. There is no dream too big that it cannot be accomplished. And
why is it a mindset change?
It's a mindset thing because I have lived with a certain kind of mindset up till today.
What kind? I mean, make you take all that. Me, I dey make myself naked before you, and you know what? Make yourself open enough for us to understand even. You are talking to us in riddles.
Okay, sir.
Are you a soothsayer?
I was trying to speak. I was trying to speak in generic terms, but the truth is, I have looked at. I've dreamt big dreams, and I've wished. I think that's the right word. I've wished I had gotten to certain places and accomplished certain things in my life. But for some of them, I've looked at them and said, "Oh, that's too big. I just don't have the capacity to do that." And even now, I know that some of the things I've accomplished, I know I could have done better. I know I could have achieved more. And some of the things in my hands right now, I have a business. The last thing you were just saying, I have people who work for me, but I think it's a kind thing to give someone an instruction, and the person doesn't follow through on instruction, just smile at them, and then just continue with them.
And you think you are a Christian, you are kind.
I think I'm doing the right thing. No, it's wrong. I'm learning that. Okay, and they're going to see something different. So I'm learning. So that's why I say it's a mindset.
You have to put efficiency above leniency.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the mindset that needs to change. And the assignment for me is to not leave this environment and go back to where I was. It is to do everything I need to do to continue to think like I am thinking.
U was Facebook so normal idiot. So can you stand up levaite? Когда будет visit, если visit Eliza Barrage was to Nina da stand up I no bude samosa boy zapuskasa. Yes.
So I was saying the challenge for me is to leave this place and continue to think like I am thinking now. Because it's easy in this atmosphere, in your presence, and with all of us here challenging ourselves, and we're all hyped, and we're saying it's possible, we're going to take the world. Well, you go out there and you begin to say some of these crazy things, and the 1,000 people around you are saying this guy has gone nuts. Yes. So the challenge for me is to go out there and not let the norm,
brilliant,
okay, the general mindset to make me begin to think like them.
Yep. Thank you.
What I gathered is that we have to live from within.
Louder, please.
We have to live from within rather than.
You've got to make that apply to your own dream, oh.
Of course.
Don't just repeat what I said.
No, of course.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have to live. We have to live from.
Are you talking about we or yourself?
Well, I have to live from within. I have to live from within, and I shouldn't attach myself to the physical things that can perish, because those things, they're going to perish, but it's what's inside of me that's going to bring value and change things.
Yeah, I was also going to talk about that, but from the beginning, actually the beginning of the day, I think that we all noticed the anointing that was on you. And you didn't get to see a house game going on, but we knew that you had
house game.
You know, we were doing a kind of game, but you didn't see us. We all had the feeling that what you were going to give us today, you were talking about, do we feel like we're touching the treasure? Do we feel like we have our fingers on the treasure? So we all could see that what you were going to give us today was going to be almost getting to that treasure that we had been desiring to know. And so when you came in, you were asking us questions, you were doing all that, and we were actually fighting with each other like, cut it short, because we knew that you have something great for us today. For me, for what you came in with this evening, the question is answered. What is life? Or what is life really about? And when the Bible says that Christ came to give us life, and life more abundant. And so when you came in, what I heard was abundant life is not acquiring stuff. Abundant life is he who lives in us. He lives in us and he gives us a calling. And he wants us to be very light so that we can do that work. Really, there's too much trouble in acquiring stuff because that's not our calling. But that doesn't mean that we won't have stuff. It will just mean that, well, you know, it's there, who cares? Tomorrow it might not be. But guess what? What God has put in me, he that lives in me,
to always be there.
He will always be there. The calling I will always be able to do, because it doesn't depend on all the stuff out there, but it depends on that life more abundant that God has given us. And that's a question that people always want to know. What is life anyway? It's because they have not found the answer. But we have the answer. But we want to be able to go out there freely, not with all these baggages that everybody else is carrying. We don't need all of that. If it comes to us, it comes to us. I love the Yoruba word that says jara. When you go to the marketplace after what is it? Jara. Excuse me. Thank you very much. You go to the marketplace, you buy what you want to buy, and the lady says she's being kind to you, and she just drops extra. Those are what all that stuff is. They're just little extras from God, but God has given us the most important thing. He lives in us. He's given us the abundant life, and he's given us a calling to redeem man, to bring man back to him. So I'm really excited. That's what I received from what you were talking
That's
about.
how you begin. That's how you are going to be living.
Yes. Yes.
I think when you went from this evening session.
Louder, louder.
From this evening session, I think the first thing that was mentioned was it's been hot or it's been fire or something like that. And yeah, I believe it has been. And I think what I've learned already is that if I go home with this work ethic, there's no way I won't be successful. And I think that's what Pastor Sunday said. He said, if you want to be successful in life, you need to make up your mind to live.
All I think you might need to see it because you have a special condition. So
he says, if you want to be successful, you need to make up your mind to live this kind of life. And I feel like as soon as I go back, that's what I'm going to do.
good.
Okay. Well, what I've got this evening is that I'm made complete in Christ. And instead of drooping hair, just knowing who you are in Christ. And it's been like, honestly, a deliverance with full clarification and knowing that I carry the life of Christ in me. And so I'm made complete. And with that confidence, there's nothing I cannot achieve, but I need to pay a price to push boundaries, and I'm ready for it.
Brilliant, brilliant.
The thing that touched me today actually was when you were talking about the comments that people were giving you. And I don't know why, but I just loved your attitude saying, who are you? And I didn't quite understand until you said, I don't tie myself down to things that will perish, and I would like to change things to people. I don't tie myself down by people who will perish. And I think that sometimes...
Pretty much like, closer.
Oh, sorry.
Pretty much like Jesus said, right? That why should you fear people who have breath in their air, in their nose rays? They will perish.
Yes, and so in my life,
Don't let your life be determined or controlled by them or what they think.
Yes, so in my life, there are people who I respect and who are even Christians, and there are people who they are good. Like there's a scripture that says, all things are permissible, but not all things are beneficial. And I think that sometimes we treat people that way, like, oh, well, they're good people, and but they're not. They're kind of almost holding you back from your purpose. They're tying you down, but they're perishable, and nobody knows where they will be in 10 or even 5 minutes. So why am I, shaking and trembling about what they're going to think if I follow this radically or I do this or that? Why do I care? They're flesh and blood, They're not, they're not my purpose. They're not the core of my soul. They're not what God has put in me.
That's why you are so free enough to wear that jeans?
Yes. Yes, it is. It is.
No, you didn't finish yet. Finish. No, she didn't finish. No. You have.
Okay.
What happened? Who put this one on? The laughter began to come out.
Well, okay. In conclusion, I'm not afraid anymore to
Brilliant.
tell people, hey, I'm not going to do this. Even though it's good to do, it's not beneficial. It's not pulling me towards my purpose. So I'm not going to be afraid to do that anymore.
It's actually almost, 2 in every 3 person in the world is always concerned about what people will say. Maybe they are family members, maybe they are acquaintances, or maybe just general public. So 2 in 3 are afraid of being totally radical. You remember in the beginning when I came in, I was asking, am I crazy? Do you really think I'm not? People are afraid of, maybe people will think they are crazy. People might be intimidated or ashamed of being called crazy. Maybe you are. Will you like it when somebody thinks you are crazy? You see, you don't want to respond. I got my answer. So you don't want people to think you are crazy, isn't it? Huh? Isn't it? You see?
Not anymore.
But that is also the reason why they are not achievers. Because you are concerned about what people will think or say, so you are not letting loose totally. You are not completely setting yourself free to be free to soar and to be free to go to the end, to be radical. We always try to keep ourselves in the edge. Under the edge, or just under. We are keeping ourselves just on the boundary. But that is the greatest reason for failure. Let me tell you this. Until your faith and commitment is absolute, it is paralytic. Until your commitment to anything you decide to do is absolute, it's lunatic. You've lost it. You have to lose it. Until it is absolute. It's not just good, big enough. It has to be totally absolute. Your commitment to anything has to be totally absolute. You have to just be crazy. Until your commitment is absolute, it is paralytic. It is limited. It is like a crawling man walking. Like a whatever. Layman walking. So until your commitment is it's just like saying, I have a good example. When I was in my village in Idomela, in Nigeria, I used to live with my grandmother. And she was the only one who was doing all the cooking and everything. But one day, I wanted to cheat on her. Because our hen, we were keeping some hen. Maybe just one hen. That hen put to bed. Yeah, I put some eggs to bed. Delivered some. So, because I knew she was coming in the evening. So before she comes, I wanted to at least enjoy 2 eggs for myself, just by myself, so that because when she comes, she always has her own plan. And in her plans, a total egg never comes to my way. I'm saying a complete one doesn't come ever. So I was so I was so sure that I knew exactly what to do. Because as far as I was concerned, the only thing you needed to get some cooked eggs, and those are some of my favorites, cooked or boiled. You call them boiled, right? Boiled eggs. Those are some of my favorites. So I thought I figured it out. Because the only thing you needed to get those things, those things boiled, and so that I could finish the business before she comes, is just to get those, because we were using the local fire, so we had firewood, and and put that. I just needed to find matches and be able to get that fire on. If I could get that firewood on, I just needed, the only other thing I needed was water. The water was always available. So put some water in that pot. Pot was as well there. So if I could get some water in that pot and get that pot in that coal fire, charcoal, over that charcoal, I got my eggs. I was thinking in the next 10 minutes I'll be ready. Huh?
Do you have?
My mouth was totally wet. I was ready. But what I was not told, because I've seen her do that so many times before, boiling eggs in those same fireplace, with those same firewood, and with those same pots, and just ordinary water inside. There was no chemical, so no magic. I was certain it was going to work out. So I blew the fire. Until my eyes was full of all the smoke. All the smoke filled my head and nose. Everything was coming out, both from the eyes and the nose. For 3 hours, I was struggling. So after 3 hours, I was saying, but this thing. Because what I was looking for. Because when Mama boils those eggs, at a certain stage, they crack. And by the time it cracks, I know it's ready. So when the shell cracks, I see inside the white thing is solid, and then that's when it's cooked. That was how I knew if the thing is cooked or not. Yes, that was the magic. So I was getting the thing for 3 hours, trying to get the fire inside so that the thing will crack. The thing was not cracking for 3 hours. It was not cracking for 3 hours. It was not cracking. So it means it was not boiled enough. So I said, Mama will soon come. Now I was going to be in trouble. So before I get into bigger trouble, maybe, just maybe, that the thing had been cooked, but this was another sort of egg that was not cracking. Let me just find out if it is boiled inside, only it was not coming out. So when I took one and I decided to crack it by myself, everything just flew out. Are you from the village also? So, what was my problem? So I stayed there for another 3 hours. So when Mama came, I tried to clean the place as much as I could. But somehow, she knew what was going on. Could you tell me what happened? She found all the places, the things I had hidden, and even the trash box where I put. She went there and discovered it. Wow, she a magician. She discovered everything. But now, she just beat me and gave me a dirty slap and all that. But that was then, But what she never told me, and nobody told me, I never knew what happened in that village that day. I thought it was all, because my own understanding was, it was because I stole it. So the thing knew I had been stolen, so he refused to boil. But it was much later, when I had moved to Europe and living alone by myself. Okay. So that fire, it varies. So the intensity of the fire and the degree of the fire depends on the heat, the intensity of the heat. Fire was just what was needed, that's all. I never knew that those fire, the intensity determines the heat level. But the heat level that I was having was not strong enough to heat the water to heat like 100 degrees. So the only thing I had was like, even if I put my water, I could even put my hand inside that water a little bit like this. But if I keep it there for a little bit, it will be. So, but I just touch it like that. And but I noticed that water, even if I touch it, it was okay, but it was hot now. Why is this thing not boiling? It was hot now. So at a point, I will put my finger like that. Okay, let me blow the thing more. So I was still putting it, but it was hotter than the 5 minutes before. Or it was hotter than half an hour before. Much hotter than before now, but I could still put my hand inside. But I never knew anything like degrees. Nobody told me that in the village. So I never knew. Because now when I go to, because with Mama, when she puts those eggs there for at the next 5-10 minutes, the things are ready. So why should my own take 6 hours and it's not enough? Nobody told me. So the problem, what I later discovered, was that even though the water did a good job, because it was cold when I put it there, and it went from cold to warm, and then from warm to hot. But I didn't know that degree of hotness also determines anything. So maybe I had from 10 degrees to about 30 degrees, I did a good job. I thought that was because just hot water needs to boil the thing. But that 30 degrees never delivered. Even when I increased the intensity and it got to like 45 degrees, and I thought this thing should now cook. Do you think it cooked? It never happened. Until I almost killed myself in that place. So what I'm saying is that any commitment, anything that is not 100%, because if that heat had hit 100 degrees, I only needed 5 minutes to boil those eggs. The heat had not hit the intensity. It was not absolute. Such is all your labors, your efforts, your commitments, anything you do. Until you have lost yourself in 100% commitment, it doesn't produce results. You'll just be struggling. Of course, it will be hot, it will be warm. It could even be hot, but it will not cook that egg. You will just not get the result you desire. So anything that is not 100%, any commitment that is not 100% in this kingdom is paralytic. It's just like a woman that is pregnant. If you've ever been pregnant as a woman here, because I was there one day when my wife gave birth. The water could have gone, but you still need to push. So, it will get to a place, you ask the woman, they will tell you, it will get to a place that you are tired. You don't even want to push anything again. You are even ready to do anything you want to do. Maybe if you want to kill me, kill me. If you want to remove the cut up, if you want to remove anything, do anything you want. Just, you are tired of pushing and pressing, and you just want to give up. You don't want to do anything. But you think, even though you are tired, you think the process is being stopped by that, or is hearing your tiredness or anything. You make you tired, or cry, or you shout, or you don't want to, you want to, until the thing is totally absolute, until you have gone through the push and the process is open totally, that child will not come out. And you know what normally happens? One common denomination is that a baby never comes out of a mother until she had given more than she is willing to give. Until she has done more than she is able to. When she's ready to give up and say, I cannot anymore, that's something just come up. Success will always demand your absolute total commitment. It is when the commitment is absolutely total, then you see the fruit. Fruit doesn't come out of a woman, and fruit doesn't come out of any effort or any commitment or any faith until it is absolute. That's it. Just like my boiled egg never came out of that. Why did I even get there in the first place? Okay, I think I was talking about Shorunke, Caroline, that people, are afraid and they are always intimidated by other people's opinion. So they only do things 50%, 40%, so that they will not think they are crazy. But you must go beyond yourself. You must go outside of yourself. Your commitment to anything you are doing must be totally absolute, so much that you have forgotten anybody. You know, women, when they are giving birth like that, at first, when she's just starting to labor and she's pushing, they say a man doctor is there. Some men say, no, I don't want men doctor. I don't want men doctor. Okay, push, then push. By the time she pushes, like another 2 hours, and all the stress is living there. She said, but the main doctor is the head of the something, he's still here. He said, I bring any one of them, all of them, even let them come. Don't make the thing, remove them. She doesn't care, men, 4 men, 10 men, 10 head men, the man will come and put hand like that. You don't even care anymore. That is when it is absolute. Absolute commitment. You see, so what I'm saying is that until you are committed to your goal, to your passion, to whatever you want to do, so committed that you don't even care is a man or female, you don't even care for their opinion, you don't even care who is seeing you, who is not seeing you, what they are saying, what they are not saying, you don't care, you are so committed to getting results. Let the whole world be laughing or smiling or anything. Until you are so committed like that, you are not ready to see the fruit. Are you following me? That is the principle everywhere. It's true for the woman who is giving birth. It's true for the bud that is coming from this, from the flower that is coming from the earth. It's true for anything. It must be absolute before a fruit is possible. Okay, make a seat. Let's do Nigeria. Huh? You like my village? Maybe you come there with me one day. Those are Idomila village stories. Idomila village stories. That's how we glorify Idomila right there. Okay, let's put the light off. And let me tell you about my plan for Nigeria, for the transformation of Nigeria and Africa. All right. You have the microphone there? Okay. Okay, we see now that here you have... Okay, go ahead.
Vision.
No, don't worry. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. All these are my strategies, and they are too complex for you. The system, this one not be the system. Is a little bit more complex than the one I taught you this morning. So I don't want to confuse you. So go ahead. It's also too complex for you. Go ahead. Okay, this one is easier. This one is easier. These are blocks of spheres of influence that we must penetrate when we go to Nigeria. Okay, go ahead. All right. So this is just a preliminary draft. Summary. This is just a summary of the plan. Go ahead. Okay, now we are starting here. There are actually 775, I think. Oh, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's say we have this amount of local governments in Nigeria, right? 774. Local governments. Now, for those who are not from Nigeria, we have central government or federal government. Then we have state government. Then every state government have what we call local government or districts. Are you understanding that? That is the lowest form of government. The closest to the ordinary people in the village. So each local government will have like a town or 2 towns if they are lucky. Towns. Normally one big town and all others are smaller villages. Some small, some big, a little bit. But 1 or 2 towns. Normally not more than 1 or 2 towns. Others are just villages. So it's quite local, but close to the people as well. So my dream and my idea is this, to start projects in every one of those local governments. So let's say we have 36 states in Nigeria, and that's how many we have. 36 states, but every state have nothing less than 15, maybe 10 local governments. Some states have 10, 15, 13, 18, 20, 23, 25, some different. So if we have, what state are you coming from?
Lagos.
Lagos State. Let's say you come from Lagos State and we have, wow. Look who came to see us. Layo and Charles. Hey, Mr. Charles Emmanuel. You dey enjoy you. When will you lend me some of that, your pot? Eh? You didn't have it the last time you were here. Oh. Something has happened. Oh. God, they take care of you now. Yeah, thank God, thank God. You come and lay hands on me when you are through. Bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you. You didn't even want me, you are coming.
You're busy, Pastor.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, sure.
Nice to see you. You know, Deo. Maybe it was just photo trick you are using on me. I didn't say any pot here now. Did it? Because from when you are far away, you use some photo trick like that, or what is it? Film trick, you say? I can't see any pot anymore. My own is even bigger than your own. Maybe I'm the one to be laying hands on you now. Take care. Welcome. Thank you for the pleasant surprise. Okay, where did I stop? Okay, let's say you come from Lagos State. That's one state. But let's say you have 30 local governments. So if I'm going to start projects in all 30 local governments, it means I'm going to have, so Lagos State is going to have at least 30 projects in the name of Sunday Adelaja Foundation. That's what we want to use, Sunday Adelaja Foundation. 30 projects minimum in that state. So every local government will feel our presence in Nigeria. So what are the projects? How do we know the projects? We are going to find out from every local government what are the most pertinent needs. What are the most pressing needs they need in those. Let's say they need water supply in this local government. But that local government, their most pressing need is a primary school. Let's say that other local government is the road they need to be repaired. Maybe that other local government is agricultural project they need. So whatever it is, we are going to do research of every local government and determine what are their needs. Now, listen now closely. We are not, so you have 30 local governments in Lagos State. Now, we are not just going to touch every local government. We are going to say, okay, you are the head of your own local government, and you know there are 30 of them. But he's just the head of one local government. Then we are going to ask him, give us list of all problems you have in your local government. Women are staying home, they don't have job, but they need to start petty businesses. So they need microfinancing. Write it down. Children don't have uniform to go to school, or they cannot afford to pay for school fees. Write it down. Maybe, what are the other things? Crime. You need security. Write it down. Maybe you need cooperatives. Write it down. So he writes down all the needs of his society. And our goal is this, to start from 1 to 100 projects just for that local government. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 10, not 20, not 30, not 40, not 50. As much as 100. If they don't have as much, good. But if we are ready to commit 100 projects to a local government. That's Lagos State, but they have 30 local governments. That's the problem. So if we do 100 projects in this local government, what happens to the other local governments? Well, the same thing. We will be ready to commit up to 100 projects also in every one of the 30. So if we now say we do, not in 1 year, we could start with one, then the next 10 years, we have up to 100 projects. So it's going to be spread out, right? So if you are starting 100 projects in this local government, and there are 30 of those local governments, how many projects would those be in just one Lagos state? That would be 3,000 local Sunday Adelaja projects meeting the 3,000 different needs just in Lagos state alone. By the time we are through, every family would have had a taste of us, or will be having constant touch with us. That is what we call transformation, national holistic transformation. That is going to be more intense than what the old government of Nigeria has done since independence. And now, think about it. We have such local governments. We have 774 of them. Multiply that by 100. That is 77, almost 80,000 projects at the same time all over the country. That's what is worth it for me. It's a kind of challenge that is worth it. And that's why I'm going back to Africa. And that's why I need all the help I could. And that's why we are going to raise up men. And it's not going to be a problem for me. That's not the problem. That's not the problem. And I know it's not a problem. I know how to do it. Some people might think that that's mind-blowing. Now you understand why those people think I'm delusional. Okay, it looks so. It looks so. So let's continue going. Yes. Now, see at the analysis we've done. Talk about systems, right? So I need to go to Nigeria. I need to do a system for Nigeria. So who understands what you see? Can anybody come and give a description of what you are seeing right now? It's too confusing for you, right? Give the microphone.
In Abia State, the population is
You have to stand this way so that they will, yeah.
In Abia State, the population is 3.2 million.
Show them where the population is. Okay.
There are 17.
So tell them the first table, the first column. Yeah.
These are the population. These are the names of the states.
Yes.
These are the population of each state, all the way to Jigawa. These are the number of local governments in every state.
Yes.
If we do 100 projects for every local government, 17 times 100, that'll be 1,700 projects going on.
No. You just missed something right there. No. Let him say it again. Repeat that and say it again.
There are 17 local governments in Abia State.
Good.
So each local government is going to get 100
Why are you pointing your fingers down?
Down?
Yeah, why are you taking your finger down? You don't need to take your fingers down.
Oh, okay.
Because if you take it down, then you go to Adamawa State and other states.
All right. So there are 17 local governments in Abia. Each local government is going to get 100 projects. 17 times 100.
Then go to the next column.
That's how you get this figure.
What figure?
1,700.
Where? No, you are not on 1,700. You are on, okay. He's showing 7. Oh, the day is a bit late. Okay. Yeah, that's how it. Okay. That's 1,700 right there, yes.
So we're going to start the project in 2017. The figures you see here, multiply it in thousands.
Yes.
That's the amount of the project. In 2018, the same amount is going to go.
So we have calculated, including the money that is going to be involved for every local government and for others, number of projects. Then can you go through the states?
In Adamawa,
How many projects?
there will be 21 local governments. There will be 2,100 projects.
Okay, keep on going. No, just stop on the projects, but to go through the states.
In Akwa Ibom, there's 4.6 million people, 32 local governments, multiplied by 100, 3,200 projects. In Anambra, population 4.8, 21 local governments, 2,100 projects. In Bauchi,
Some people, there is something we call the Biafra movement in Nigeria. Because of them, I had to expose my plan. I wrote an article. I don't remember what I call it. I think maybe a word for my Biafra brethren or so. I was telling them, I beg you, in the name of Jesus, please don't leave Nigeria before I come. Give me, not Nigeria, give me a chance, 5 years. I have such a plan for Nigeria and for Biafra states, every state in Biafra, that if Nigeria doesn't change, including Biafra people, then you are free to go. But if you go before I come, you will be begging to come back because of what is going to be happening in Nigeria. I wrote an article about that because, it's going to be so holistic that the country will change. I don't even need to prophesy. It's just going to be so obviously change. The progress and the development is going to be so rapid. And just for you to know, I have a think tank in Washington, D.C. right now that are working. This is just the preliminary thing. It's going to be like 1,000 pages of documents. And I have another think tank in Lagos, Nigeria, that are working 24 hours just to study every local government, all their plans, all their problems, and everything. And I don't want Biafra to go. I don't want the eastern part of Nigeria to go personally. Because personally I believe in... But the Igbo people, they are not Biafra. The Biafra people, they don't represent all Igbo people. But I'm talking of not the Biafra people. I'm talking about the Igbo people, the eastern people. I believe in them so much. Personally, I believe that I want to invest in two groups of people I'm very passionate about in Nigeria. I believe in my Ijebu people. Yes, I believe in the Ijebu people. Yes. And maybe because I'm from there, but maybe I'm biased a little bit, but I noticed something in the Ijebu people. They are kind of different. From my own analysis. For example, that is Ogun State area, right? Now, that state, Ogun State, now, Yoruba has how many? 6 states? Maybe 6 states. And we have 40 million people. In 40-something million people, Yorubas, who are Yorubas. But Ogun State is the smallest of all the Yoruba people. But that smallest state, that state has produced all the Yoruba presidents we ever had in Nigeria. They come from that one state alone. Yes. You never thought about it. There is all the Yoruba president that ever come from Nigeria. They came from that little smallest state. Shonekon or whatever they call him. And then Shonekon, is he not from there? Abiola that they never allowed to rule. Is he not from there? He's from there. Obasanjo, is he not from there? Obasanjo second time, is he not from there? He's from there. Awolowo, is he not from there? Anybody that is who and who in the Yoruba land, they are from there. Now, Tai Sholari, is he not from there? He's from there. Wale Soyinka, is he not from there? So who remains? Sunday Adelaja, is he not from there? So there is something that the richest black man, The richest black Nigerian, apart from Dangote, is from Ogun State. Adenuga is from there. Oba Otedola, is he not from there? From there. Oh! Or Shubomi, what's it called? Shubomi Balogun, the owner of what bank? SCMB Bank. Is he not from there? He's from anybody that is who and who in Yoruba land. So something must be happening. So I want to go, Yes. It's not just the water. It is the substance. It is everything. The water, the land, and I can prove that to you scripturally. And preach it to you. The effect of land where you grow up and, where you walked and the food substance you eat on what you become in life. They are in Ogun State. All the mega churches in Nigeria, Redeem, Deeper Life, all of them, Fire, Mountain of Fire, all winners, all of them are in Ogun State. All of them. So, and it has the largest number of universities in Nigeria. All the universities are from 20 universities are there. So, so, but if you never challenge yourself and you never ask that question, you will never know. Because the reason why I started thinking about that was because they claimed that they found an English archaeologist claimed that he found a wall over there that they believe was they associated it with Queen of Sheba or something. They said it is comparable to the walls of China, and it is it is as old as the blocks in England. What do you call those Stoneheads? Yes, and that the black people did this. So it's one of the United Nations archaeological protected areas, and this in Nigerian. So they are saying, who are the people who live in this area? That there's something special about the because they built that thing before they aged something in England. They were saying, and it's as big as the pyramids, and they are worshiping the pyramid people. They say, and this is in the bush in Nigeria. So it's in the Ijebu land. So they are saying some people have lived here, some people, and I began to examine myself because I never went to a school like that. If you see the picture of my high school, we don't have walls, no walls, nothing. And like I said, I never saw a library, I never saw a laboratory, I never, and then I, just put one or two things together, and all these Yoruba and Ijebu people. I mean, like I said, Yoruba people are many. They're like 50 million people, right? But why are all these people concentrated coming from this little space? Little space. So I personally believe that Pastor Sunday Adelaja, myself, I would have been left. If I didn't win a scholarship, nobody would have discovered that something like this was hidden from the villages over there. And I know for sure that there are many Sunday Adelajas in that land. But they are still buried there. Just I would have been buried there without notice. So I want to go there and I want to invest on giving opportunities to all of them so that we'll be able to discover more Sunday Adelajas for the world. Are you from there? Yeah! Ijebu? Yes, so now, keep on going. Then the same conviction that I have about the Ijebus and the Ogun State people is the same conviction I have about the Igbo people. There is something about those people. Yes, I believe in them like crazy. I want to invest as much. So those are the two. Now, there are other places in Nigeria that all of them are great. They are unique. They are talented. Everybody is great. But those two people, the eastern part of Nigeria and the Ijebu people, I have special interest in them. And I want to give my best to all of them. Especially Anambra in Igbo. Anambra State, and Ijebu people, Ogun State. And Ibadan, Ibadan, Abeokuta, Ijebu, Egba, Ijebu, that's Ogun State, and Anambra State. I am really interested in those two. You are from Anambra State. Yes, you see, one of them is here. Amara is here. Anambra girl. Igbo girl, Anambra girl. You too, you are Imo. You are Imo. Abia State. Okay. You used to be Imo when we met. So that's why I wrote that passionate letter today. I don't want the Biafra people to spoil that agenda. I don't want them to stand on the way because I know what God would do through Nigerians and through, not just those Nigerians, but I'm going to be doing everything, the same thing for all local government, all states. But I'm just revealing my heart cry to you now about those group. I'm biased about those two group of people. Yeah. Go ahead.
We stop at Bauchi, 5.5 million, 20 local governments, 2,000 projects. Bayelsa, 1.9 million, 8 local governments, 800 projects. Benue, 4.9 million population, 23 local government, 2,300 projects. Borno, 4.9 million, 26 local government, 2,600 projects. Cross River State, 3.3 million, 18 local government, 1,800 projects. Cross River, Delta, 4.8 million, 24 local governments, 2,400 projects. Delta, Ebonyi, 2.5 million, 13 local government, 1,300 projects. $1,800. Ekiti, 2.8 million, 16 local government, 1,600 projects. Enugu, 3.7 million people, 17 local government, 1,700 projects. Federal Capital Territory, 2.2 million, 6 local government, 600 projects. Imo State, 4.6 million people, 27 local government, 2,700 projects. Jigawa, 5 million, 27 local government, 2,700 projects. Next, please. Kaduna, 7.1 million people, 23 local governments, 2,300 projects. Kano, 11 million people, 44 local government, 4,400 projects. Katsina, 6.7 million people, 34 local government, 3,400 projects. Kebbi, 3.8 million people, 21 local government, 2,100 projects. Kogi, 3.8 million people, 21 local government, 2,100 projects. Kwara, 2.7 million people, 17 local government, 1,700 projects. Lagos, 10.9 million people, 20 local government, 2,000 projects. Nasarawa, 2.1 million people, 13 local government, 1,300 projects. Niger, 4.6 million people, 25 local government, 2,500 projects. Ogun State, 4.4 million people, 20 local government, 2,000 projects. Osun State, 4 million people, 30 local government, 3,000 projects. Oyo State, 6.6 million people, 33 local government, 3,300 projects. Plateau, 3.6 million people, 17 local government, 1,700 projects. River State,
Maybe you left it out. Don't worry, we'll fix it. We'll fix it. Keep on going.
Plateau State, 3.6 million people, 17 local governments, 1,700 projects. River State, 6.1 million people, 23 local governments, 2,300 projects. Sokoto, 4.3 million people, 23 local governments, 2,300 projects. Taraba, 2.6 million people, 17 local government, 1,700 projects. Yobe, 2.7 million people, 17 local government, 1,700 projects. Zamfara, 3.8 million people, 14 local government, 1,400 projects. Subtotal, you can see it in dollars there. There's going to be a Nigeria project office. They have a budget too. Ukraine liaison office, that's their budget. US project office, they also have a budget. The total amount that's expected to be spent in 2017.
Don't worry, you don't need to mention.
All right. The population of Nigeria says is 160 million. I think it's more now.
Yep. So keep on going. Next page, please. Yeah, give to him. Yes.
Number one, village healthcare clinics. These are vital projects for Nigeria. So number one is village healthcare clinics.
So I'm just using this as an example of projects, right? Like 100 projects. So things like this. Just you see an example of it. Yeah, go. And what wait, go back. What are these things? These are videos of what they are going to look like. What we have done is that we've done research of any project that we mention here. We have videos of how they're going to look like. These are the things you are seeing here on different continents.
Number two project, primary school modernization. 3, secondary school modernization. 4, agriculture cooperatives. 5, energy modernization. Environmental cleanup, number 6. Infrastructure modernization, number 7. Natural resource development, number 8. Entrepreneurship, development, and small-scale business, number 9. Rural development, number 10. Transportation, number 11. 12 is services. 13, urban development. 14, skills acquisition centers. 15, affordable homes. 16, security. 17, church reformation. 18, women empowerment through cooperatives, that is widows, petty traders, single parents, and unskilled teenage girls. Reorientation and training for the public and private sectors, number 19. 20, establishing microcredit and microfinance banks. 21, training for present and future political leaders. 22, feeding centers for the extremely poor. 23, rehabilitation centers for the homeless and mentally derailed people. 24, technical colleges. 25, the need for a worldwide network of TV stations and other media outlets for value reorientation of the masses. A law firm to litigate against all forms of injustice and unrighteousness in the society, number 26. 27, have an investigation company with detectives for proper fact-finding research on all matters. 28, start public debates and public hearing avenues to create a hearing for the general public. 29, history makers training in secondary schools and universities, intensive boot camp type of training. 31, libraries and book clubs. 32, symposiums, colloquiums, seminars, and roundtables on national issues. 33, work out a legal agreement with partners and co-workers to avoid betrayals and stealing of projects. 34, set up a think tank and executive teams to work on the realization of all ideas and projects and to develop new ones. 34, set up a publishing and distribution arm of the ministry for Pastor Sunday's books.
Now that create questions and answers, Katerina cited. Joshua specific. Щоб показать вопросы и ответы. После этого, после этого.
Transform the books into video games, board games, films, talk show, and TV programs. 36, start a running TV program based on each group. Program where viewers are challenged to write their projects, ideas, business. Okay, so program where viewers are challenged to write their projects, ideas, business plans.
Maybe it's enough. Or I should continue. Okay, continue, they said.
Program where viewers are challenged to write their projects, ideas, business plans on the topic of each book, then submit them for screening, competitions, and financing. The goal is to find people through whom we will turn every book into an institution project, vision, which will later grow into self-sustaining organisms. 37, start a mass educational project on the laws of money based on my book, Money Won't Make You Rich. This will include monthly crusades on the topic, HMT type of training on the weekends and midweek. 38, start mass empowering crusades in stadiums.
Are you saying system? Uche, are you the blame? We go blame for this, or are you saying we should do it today?
Says there will be trainings, teaching, counseling, skill acquisitions, prayers, etc. They could be called National Transformation Crusades and conferences. 39, mentorship programs for aspiring millionaires and champions of industries. 40, partnering program with successful businesses and other national institutions where we could all be part owners. That is, owning shares so as to ride on their influences to affect the nation. 41, scholarship and financial grants to high school graduates. 42, scholarship and financial grants to pastors and other full-time ministers. 42, the University of Life project via the internet, social media. Okay, proposed training program that could include the following. An evaluation of the problems of the nation. Where did the wrong value system come from? 2, what are the value systems Nigeria needs for a rapid development? 3,
Louder, please.
how to get rid of bad value systems and establish new ones. 4, we need a content formation program for a new Nigerian. 5, a comprehensive training that will help people discover their abilities, gifts, and callings. Number 6, train people to take responsibility for social transformation rather than leave it to the government. 7, help people discover the purpose for Nigeria. 8, enlighten the elites.
Sunday Adelaja for president.
8, enlighten the elite or the elite.
You want to put me in trouble? I don't want president. Oh. I'm not interested. I am God's president.
Number 8, enlighten the elite on their role and responsibility before the nation. Number 9, the church needs to be trained to stop abdicating their duties and roles to the unbelievers. Number 10, bringing the awareness on personal responsibility to the Nigerian public. 11, practical training on how to resolve each of Nigeria's...
Just to answer this person that is saying I should run for presidency or someone that like for president, I want to say that to become a president is a demotion. Is it? Demotion. It's a demotion. It is actually not just a demotion, but it's going to be counterproductive. It's going to be counterproductive. So, to be a president will be a demotion. I will be coming down from my height. That's what I say. So I'm not interested in running for president.
Okay, number 11, practical training on how to resolve each of Nigeria's myriad of problems. 12, the need to train the populace and government agencies in standards, quality, diligence, and excellence. 13, spheres of influence and how to penetrate them. 14, building systems for change, producing of leaders. 15, train people on how to use NGOs, pressure groups, and other projects to affect the society. 16, train people on how to create...
So you see that I know exactly what I want to do, what I'm talking about. So I'm not just delusional like people say. Maybe it looks delusional. No. I'm planning. This is just preliminary. This is not even the plan yet. This is not the project. This is just to give you an idea of what we are talking about.
16, train people on how to create models and prototypes for transformation. 17, training people on how to build momentum for accelerated achievements. 18, developing programs of the school system that will emphasize values and virtue development. 19, how to bring about transformation through media and film industry. 20, developing and training future and present political aspirants for value and quality development in the country.
Okay. Let's put on the light. Okay, we need we need more, sorry. Please. Let's go to the practical questions people have. Okay.
Okay. Mr. Reid?
Yes, please.
Question 1. What is the cost involved for the people traveling with me to Nigeria to participate in the Nigerian Transformation Project? And the answer is, first of all, it will be helpful.
This is all on my blog, by the way. God, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
First of all, it will be helpful if people who are going with me to Nigeria have some of their own resources to fall back on. It will be nice if a person who is going will be able to afford to pay for his or her own ticket, visa, and accommodation in Nigeria. However, that is the ideal situation. I also realize that we don't live in an ideal world, which means there will be people who have the desire to go back with me to contribute to the rebuilding of Nigeria and Africa, but cannot afford the ticket, visa money, and accommodation money to survive in Nigeria. To those people, we'll be able to extend sponsorship, scholarship programs, depending on what they are bringing to the table. I realize that a person might not have money, but that same person could have expertise, skills, or ideas that are needed in Africa, which he will be willing to give and contribute. Second question, purpose of travel and the detail of the program. The purpose of taking teams with me for the Nigerian Transformation Program is the fact that, as a realist, I realize that one of the reasons why we are the least developed continent in the world today is because we simply don't have enough qualified people in our country. Let's face it, Nigeria today is only 50% literate, which means that human capital is not developed. We don't have enough skilled workers and laborers, especially those who can build a competitive 21st century economy. The developed countries of the world today rely on the human capacity of 100%. They even import from other countries to contribute to what they already have. How can we as
That's why I'm happy that they elected Trump, so that all Nigerians will come back home.
So how can we
They shouldn't go to Canada. They should join my team to go back to Nigeria.
How can we as a nation compete when we are only at 50% capacity rate? We cannot compete and build a modern economy. We have to fast track our human economy by bringing in those who can train our people to jumpstart our development agenda as a nation. Can you scroll up? Okay, yeah. Talking about 50% literacy in Nigeria, that includes those who are only literate in local languages and those who don't have more than a primary school education, which now puts the English literate people in Nigeria at no more than 20%. Hence, we need a lot of help. A significant number of these well-educated and literate people have moved abroad and are using their skills and education to develop other nations. They must be enticed back to the country to contribute their quota. When I talk about skilled labor, I don't mean university-educated expatriates. I simply mean anybody who knows how to do anything good. For example, some of the white people I'm bringing from Europe don't necessarily have university education, but they are skillful and experts in technical work. My goal for bringing the Europeans is for them to train as many Africans as possible before they go back.
Pakaji Cartido ni na eta strong shitait anamenya ada postemo ilina kavota inina lude iperewade. Go ahead.
My goal of bringing expatriates with me is for the training of people, especially youth. Question 3. Security and safety advice. The people who are going with me to Nigeria are going to be under my care, which means it is my prerogative to make sure that they are protected and secured. This will take a multifaceted approach.
Okay, normal.
First of all, security will have to involve the location. For example, Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, will be a more secured location than Lagos or the Niger Delta region. This will be one of the main factors that will inform where we settle in Nigeria. Secondly, security will also involve means of transportation in and within Nigeria. We hope to procure buses so that most of our foreigners will travel in large numbers rather than individually. Another aspect of security that we want to pay special attention to is in the area of housing and accommodation of our expatriates. We intend to lodge them in an apartment complexes or estates where they will all live together in one community. Eventually, we plan to build our own estates where everybody that is connected with the Nigerian transformation team will live as in a city together under the security auspices of this vision. We plan to engage security companies that will be providing state-of-the-art security details for our people. I am personally aware of the security in Nigeria and making an arrangement to bring with me our one European security detail where we will have our own European security detail where we will have professional coming from Russia and other European countries. They will now be required to train the local security as well. Question 4. Standard of accommodation, food hygiene, and sanitation. This is a very important question because I have discovered that accommodation, food hygiene, and sanitation could be very important. I personally have had unpleasant situations where after coming back to Europe from Nigeria for the next 1 month, I had to be running to the toilet because of diarrhea. I'm aware that the composition of our food most of the time will include pepper and other spices, which will pose a huge challenge for most Europeans. Having lived in Europe for 30 years, I have come to discover that I'm no more able to eat the African food. This informs the reason why some of the people going with me from here will have to be European culinary personnel. Talking about accommodation, the accommodation we intend to provide for people coming from Europe or America with me will be top-notch, at least not worse than what is obtainable in any part of the world. I'm already looking into some options that will be good enough to suit the housing demand of any European country, with consideration for 24/7 water and electricity supply, furniture, clean environment, including swimming pools and gyms for recreational purposes. Style of living, e.g. communal living, as provided above. Number 6, living arrangements, gendered. The living arrangement will be in accordance to the number of people we have and their family compositions. If we have husband and wife and children, they would definitely have to stay together in the same apartment. However, if we have single individuals, they will have to stay in the same apartment with people of the same gender. Two single people might have to share an apartment, male separate, female separate, but all together in one secured estate. Behavior of traveler. We are going to have definite time of orientation for those going with us to Africa, including some code of conduct. that will be read out and studied by all going with us. Some of the code of conduct that might be worth noting right now could be: we will encourage the Europeans to avoid laughing, making jest and ridiculing the African population. There will definitely be a lot of things that will be unfamiliar and look primitive and out of place in Africa. However, the purpose of our visit is to help support and educate rather than criticize, abuse, or exploit. We will advise especially our white friends and colleagues not to travel in isolation, but rather travel in groups and with trusted company. Travelers with children, number 8. If people are coming with us with their kids, we will make arrangements for schools, kindergarten, and other necessary modes of education. Besides, we will advise all people going with us to do all the necessary immunization and vaccination for themselves and their children as required by the Nigerian government. Minimum and maximum age limits. The minimum age limit will not be stipulated, especially if people younger than 18 are going with their parents or guidance. However, the maximum age limit does not exceed 65 years old.
Louder. Is it? Okay, it's okay, yeah.
Is it okay? Okay, so terms and conditions for travelers. See above, please. Code of conduct to be developed. General expenses advice. Can we scroll that up, please? For those who are able to take care of themselves as they go with us to Africa, between $2,000 and $3,000 will be necessary for a comfortable stay in Nigeria. I would like to say that if you won't be in the position to provide such an amount of money, the Nigerian Transformation Program will be responsible for a lot of the general expenses. Travel arrangements, see above. Any additional questions should be sent to nigeria@sundayadelajafoundation.com. Immobility, circulatory problems, and deep vein thrombosis. People with such situations or other severe health challenges are not advised to travel. Jet lag. For most people traveling from Europe, there will be no jet lag, and the same goes for people coming from Asia. Jet lag will only affect people coming from places across the ocean like America, Asia, and so on. It is, however, easy to overcome, and this should take place within a week of arrival. Flight arrangement. Charter? See above. Visa requirements. Most nations of the world will need a visa for West African countries and West African sub-regions. Africans, West Africans are the only ones that might not need a visa. So we are taking it upon ourselves as an organization to arrange visa invitation letters for any potential candidate traveling with us to Nigeria. We will do the invitation and we will work with the embassy to make sure that everyone coming secures a visa to Nigeria and later on a work permit that will allow them to stay in Nigeria for a period of 2 years and above. We strongly recommend that anybody coming in for this project will sign in for 2 years and above to work with the Nigerian Transformation Project. Travel insurance. Concerning travel insurance, some countries require travel insurance to go to places like Nigeria. That could be gotten for as little as $200 and above. Whoever is coming will be able to resolve that question themselves. General health insurance, see above. Travelers Embassy in Nigeria. Concerning embassies in Nigeria, for those coming with us, they will need to get Nigerian visas in Nigerian embassies in their countries or embassies where their countries are attached to.
Or is too detailed maybe for you? We should continue? Okay, go ahead.
All these questions could be resolved in an ongoing work process. Most of the developed countries in the world have their embassies in Nigeria, so they should not have any diplomatic problems in that regard. Responsibilities of traveler. Those going with us to Nigeria are required to come with their expertise, knowledge, and skills. We also advise such people to volunteer to serve in Nigeria for a minimum of 2 years. We will also ask prospective travelers to develop their project ideas and initiatives such that they could be defended and implemented in Nigeria. Healthcare requirements, see above. Underlying health of the traveler, proof of health requirement. Yes, there's a requirement. We will require that people coming will have a clean bill of health. This is not just a requirement for us, but for the government as well. Hence, we advise you have a medical checkup or health certificate ready for the embassy and visa process. Those who require repeat prescription. For those who require prescriptions, we will advise such people to put a system in place whereby they will be able to have a constant supply of their medications while they are in Nigeria. Such arrangement is better left to the individual traveler. Psychological aspect and health. It is extremely important to have a clean bill of health in regards to mental and psychological state of the travelers. We want to make sure that we are not taking people who will create more problems in Africa, but we are taking people who help resolve the problems in Africa. Mentally and psychologically unstable patients are not recommended to go. Medical consultation before and after, see above. Potential hazards. There are challenges that are awaiting every potential traveler in Nigeria. First of which is 1, the hot weather. 2, the danger of disease in case of lack of immunization. 3, it is important for foreigners to be security conscious and not wander around the country without taking necessary security precautions. Otherwise, Nigeria will be an exciting place for everyone traveling there. Nigerians are some of the most hospitable, entertaining, and interesting people to be around. Vaccination requirements and proof. Vaccinations is required by the Federal Republic of Nigeria, so it will be recommended for everyone to get a vaccination before traveling to Nigeria. Routine vaccination. As for routine or ongoing vaccination or medical services, there will be provision of medical checkups and services to all team members, free of charge as long as you are in Nigeria. Selective use for travelers. See above. Required vaccinations for Nigeria, the same. Okay. Medical kits and toiletries are seen fit by individuals. Can we go up? All right. Extended friends and family in Nigeria. As for those who have families in Nigeria, we would strongly advise that they put the work of that's Nigeria Transformation Project as their focus and priority. Although everybody, so Nigeria Transformation Project will be given the acronym or the NTP anyway, so I won't have to pronounce that. Although everybody will be given the right to pursue their own projects individually under the umbrella of NTP, and in some cases under the sponsorship, still our focus must be non-negotiable. Visiting family and friends. Visiting family and friends will be made possible for everyone willing to. Families and friends will also be able to visit upon invitation by the respective relative. Mobility while in Nigeria. Understanding the geographic area. We will have ongoing constant guidance and advice from the local Nigerian staff and security operatives. List of essential travel items. This will be as individually see fit. We would like to advise that Nigeria uses electric sockets that are British standard with 3 connecting pins. You may therefore be in need of an adapter. Food and dietary requirements could be cross-checked on the internet. Passport and immigration requirements. See above. Temperature advice, dress code. The dress code will be as required for any mature Christian, men and women. That's it.
Okay, let's put on the light now. Put on the light, please. Yes, thank you. Now, that's it. I'm not sharing with you my ideas for the money and what I'm doing to get the money and all that. That's not your problem. That's my problem. So if I'm saying all this, it means that I know where I'm coming from. That's not any challenge. So is my presentation comprehensive enough? Or maybe I didn't answer some of your questions. Anyway, let me even hear you first. You'll be hearing me. Let me hear your opinions. If you don't, nobody stands up, I'm going to get all of you out up again. I need your opinions. Okay, stand up, everyone.
Let us stand up, we'll talk.
Be the first one, then you will sit down.
No, I'll do it for them.
Okay.
All right. I was going to say something the last time, right? When you were talking about, if you were, the way people tag you, I've forgotten the term that you used.
Delusional.
Delusional, right? Or let's put it this way, abnormal.
Yes.
I think the new normal is abnormal. And I'll explain to you. Now, when Jesus came, he broke out protocols. He had to do things differently from what they were used to. Remember the story. The Pharisees saw him and they felt this guy has gone crazy. You were talking about Trump the last time. I think the only people that will achieve anything in this world are people who are ready to be abnormal, who wants to do things the way people are not used to. You're talking about the absolute.
I think one of the things that we should take back here from here is the fact that we can't go back and begin to do things the way other people are doing things. Because most people are not getting the results anyway, so why should we be like them? The statistics call some things outliers, right? The PhD, so that means these are points that are just out of range. They are just standing alone. They're not with the crowd. I think we need to begin to do things that way. We need to begin to think that way. We need to step out, out of the box. That's one of the things I'm taking from here.
Okay, come out, everyone, and tell us your impression. What did you get? What are you thinking? What's going on in you? I want to hear what's going on in your heart.
The only thing I would say is, number one, I thank God that you were born for this purpose. Because as I was sitting down there, I was thinking, so if you were not born, so who is going to do it? Or if you've been aborted, who is going to do it? Right from the village, 40 people are living in that village. You came here, God trained you, and now you are now going back to your country to rebuild the country that has been broken that has been broken down. I'm overwhelmed. As I'm sitting there, I'm just saying to God, God, please help me. I want to do something like this. I want to be noticed. I want to change something as well, But I just thank God for your life. That's what I'll say.
No, the people who will be speaking, it's better for you to line up before. You see, the only thing that will work is for... Okay, let's all get up. Let's all get up. Stand up, everyone. Yeah, apart from the ones who have spoken. Yes, go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to throw caution for some of us that will be coming to speak. I don't think Pastor Adelaja is asking us to stroke his ego. He wants questions. He wants to know how we feel about it.
No, I want to see your plans. I want to see your understanding. First of all, I want to hear what's going on in your heart. You need to let out what is happening to you. Then, what are you seeing? What are you thinking? What are the questions you have? Whatever is going on in your heart is what you say.
For me, one of the missing links for me is that we have the zeal, we have the technical knowledge, and we have the vision that you share with us. But some of the things that we lack are what you mentioned in the list, stating that how do we form NGOs, and how do we use that NGO to leverage some of the resources that we have to actually empower us. Because one thing I know very well is how healthcare works in Nigeria. There's a lot of gimmicks going on, and they are spending billions every year. And people are just getting rich. And they will come to US. Oh, you guys go and do this. And they will send millions of dollars there. It disappears. And nothing happens. And some of these things, I'm just getting tired of it.
So one of the things I'm going to do, which I didn't talk about here, we let that out in the beginning, is that we will be doing this kind of training. I will do it for 1 whole year, every day, Monday to Friday, every day for a whole year, for people who are aspiring to be a part of this in Nigeria and from abroad. That's where we will teach on how to establish NGO, what are the skills you need, and how to, expertise that we'll give to you. Thank you.
So some of the things that are not clear to you, I think this is the time to ask Pastor Sunday.
I haven't got a question, but I just want to say you've done very well, because from what you've been teaching us and what I've learned in the last few days, there will always be a system in place for anything to succeed. And I haven't come across one like this. I've never come across one. But from what I just saw now, it's a very big project. And I can understand why people are saying, maybe you are speaking so boldly, maybe you are lunatic. But that's fine. They can say whatever they please because they don't understand it. But I think what you've just shown now is just a little bit of what it's going to be like. Now, people will go back and start thinking. And I promise you something. After today, the Facebook Live is going to increase because the word will go. If I have got about 5 or 6 friends who tune on this evening, okay, just to see what is going on. Now, you've done your research, you've identified problems, and you've done all the statistics that is involved. What else? To execute it, you are training people. These people here today, including me, are one of the people who are going to go and help to establish this. Yes.
And 75% is what?
Planning.
The
So
system is it? Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
The system is
Others
already.
is just 25%.
Yes, to do the job. And another thing that this is going to do for us is, even though you are taking people from abroad, expertise, we're still going to increase the employment in Nigeria because we need the local people to help out in so doing. So the training is already taking place. It takes some time, but I think it's time sensitive. And
Someone is just talking like you. Usheshi Uwegwe. He said, when I heard about this project now, the only thing that I thought was, this cannot be happening in my lifetime, and I will not be a part of it.
anyway, Uchechi, I want to tell you something. You better be a part of it because it's for real. I've seen it. Yes, I have seen it because there is an evidence. I had to come to Kyiv just to make sure that what I'm hearing is actually for real. And I have visited places where a system like this is happening. There is an evidence. You guys believe in evidence-based, isn't it? This is one of it. But just get yourself ready. That's all I can say. Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you. Thank you.
Pastor, God bless you. You must have definitely heard from God. There's no doubt about this. So we thank God for your life. I have questions, Pastor. How is this going to run in parallel with whatever the government has in place?
I don't care for what government has in place. I don't care what government is doing or not doing. I don't want to bother myself with what the government is doing or not doing. We will be open to work with the government. We will be open to partner with them, but we will not wait on them. We will not be dependent on them. We will do what we need to do according to the order of the government of heaven.
In which case, we may be duplicating NGOs.
We don't care. We have 200 million Nigerians that need to be ministered to. So let's be duplicating and be doing good to our people now.
And lastly, we know that Nigeria is corrupt and properly corrupt.
Yes.
And probably that is the fear of every Nigerian when they say, can this ever happen? I know it can. However, is there any way to explain? Because if we're going to use the manpower in Nigeria, how will you ever change the mindset of people who, before they see the money, they've already spent it? So that's the key question. Maybe it will put people's mind at rest to really know that, yes, this may be possible. Otherwise, no matter, even if it's $1 trillion, it will disappear within six weeks in Nigeria. That's a possibility.
Yes. Okay. For people who have read my book, Nigeria and the Leadership Question, please, you want to answer that question? Because you asked me the same question at the time. This is Pastor Laya.
Pastor, good evening. Thank you so much for the opportunity. So, with respect to corruption not taking over the projects we have on our hands, in Nigeria and the Leadership Question, Pastor, one of the underlying themes of that book is changing the value system.
Have you read the book, Nigeria and the Leadership Question? Okay. That's why she had the question.
Okay. So Pastor dealt extensively with...
Is there a copy of the book? Can we show the book here? No, Nigeria and the Leadership Question. Okay, go ahead and talk about it.
So Pastor dealt extensively with changing the value system of the citizens of Nigeria. And he also did talk, he said, except the value system of a nation is changed, the nation cannot be transformed. And then he made reference to Singapore, where a new leader came into power, and he put things in place in terms of value system. I can't remember the name of the president now.
The microphone could be a little bit...
Okay, so...
Yeah, lower, yeah.
Okay, so I can't remember the name of the president who went on in Singapore then, but then this guy brought in new set of rules and everything, and it changed the value system of the entire Singapore citizens, and thereafter the nation was changed. So for Nigeria, pastor is working on reorientating people, changing the value system. If the value system can change, then they will run with a vision, and this problem of corruption will not even be in place at all. So that's the foundation, changing the value system, and then we'll build on that. So that's a problem.
Thank you. Only concurrently. That will be concurrently.
Again, thank you, Pastor Sunday, for that which we have heard tonight.
Louder, please.
Thank you for what what you've shown to us tonight. Although we've been hearing about it, but now, apart from coming here to see some of the system being in place, then again we've seen. We've heard about your plan and we've seen the plan. Again, there are some questions which I wanted to ask before, but when these things were being shown, I think it's very comprehensive and explicit. Thanks for the grace. And again, there was a time I was thinking of having this kind of a thing in a small way. But I think when having seen this, I think it will be able to help me in my own local community. Amen. Just to be able to do one or two things. Because nearly everything, the social infrastructure, the life, how people's life can be changed, everything is there. Thinking about the people there, thinking about the people going there. I think.
So the delusional part of it for you is already
I think it's
coming out of the equation.
Yeah, it's been taken care of.
Not as bad anyway.
No. I don't think so. Having come to this place, having seen what is on, and again too, coupled with our lecture this morning, it means there is nothing impossible. You are the only one that can limit yourself. And whatever you want to do with determination, with perseverance, you will conquer. And I know with assurance that we will all conquer in the name of Jesus. And again, to our volunteer, I would like to be part of this. Although I've not spoken with my family, but I would love to be part of it. So thank you. I should not forget myself. Or what?
No, I forgot to say count me in.
Okay.
I will write your name.
Okay, thank you very much, Pastor, for sharing, and thank you for doing it tonight as well, in response to my humble request. Yeah, so what's happening within me, it's excitement, that's one word. Okay, I'm excited.
So you can see hope for this.
Yes, because people who have spoken before me said, seeing what, by God's grace, you've done here, okay, and seeing this vision, we believe it's possible. Okay, we believe it's possible. Yeah, so I'm excited for the nation. I'm excited that I'm alive now because I don't want my grandchildren to hear that something like this happened in the time of their grandfather, and he wasn't a part of it. So I think I have signed up already. Oh, definitely.
You have signed up.
No, I have signed up already. My expertise is waste and environmental management, and I was glad to see that you had sorting out the environmental degradation issues there. So let's do it.
Thank you.
I've always had a dream from like when I was 14 years old, and I was always afraid to kind of say it, especially in front of like dangerous people like Pastor Sunday. But it's always been
extremely dangerous.
Extremely dangerous. But I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I've always dreamed of building a platform for the artists of Nigeria. I've always dreamed of having film festivals there, like Cannes Film Festival or Sundance. I've always dreamed of having modeling agencies that were world-renowned. I've always dreamed of having our own Picassos born out of Nigeria, Mozarts, our own communities, our own studios that people come and have their films at. And I kind of was always thinking from 14, that's such an absurdly large dream. But it has never left me. But now that I'm seeing all that you have planned and put together, I know that dream is not too far away. I know that dream actually can happen. because you know how to plan, you know how to systematize it, and it's not absurd. It's not absurd, it's doable.
One of the things I saw in the presentation was we've been here, we've studied, and most of the things we did was put into practice in the presentation. And the way you talked about housing the expatriates, it's been done before, and it worked perfectly well. I grew up in the south of Nigeria. I saw it with Shell. I've seen it with Chevron. I've seen it with all the oil companies that are succeeding in Nigeria. So I don't think there's going to be failure in any way. And also, you taught us backup plans. I know you have backup plans. Even if there is doubts anywhere, there are other things that is in place that you won't know. But so I want to thank you. You're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. I just pray that more people will be raised. You're going to raise sons. You're going to raise people. I know, because it's your plan. That's what you've been teaching us here. So we'll pick it up with you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Yeah. I mean, I'm quite excited about this project. I'm really, really excited. And for me, it's not a matter of if it can happen. It's not a matter of if it will happen. You know, I have seen it happen. You know, I haven't got much to say, but I can see it's already happened. You know, there's a walk of a visionary. You know, visionary, like the Bible, the scripture that was coming to me all this evening was Enoch walked with God till he was no more. So a visionary is walking in a different realm. You know, they see the things that are ahead. So I've seen it. I've seen it. I don't know. I've seen it. So that's all I can say. I have seen it happen. Thank you.
Okay, I am no Nigerian.
But we welcome everybody from all nations.
Okay, but obviously I cannot give an opinion about something I don't know. But I know that I can give opinions what I do know. And what I do know is, for instance, that this mention about corruption. Corruption exists wherever a human being exists, right? So, and it's not going to be 100% eradicated. And we don't need to think about that to start doing something to correct something. That is HMT ideology, and I think this philosophy is the right philosophy. And there are a lot of proofs in the world through the history, and I just want to mention one very recent. Korea. Korea was one of the most corrupted countries in the world, poor, very poor, and just in 25 years, the government changed everything. The value, the system of the values, beliefs, and now they are one of the most important economies in the world. People are working there. They have one of the highest per capita income. So if they did it using the standard tools with a government that just wanted to do it, well, I believe that here this project can be done. In a different way, what I understand from your presentation, Pastor, is that instead of going frontal, you are going to go exactly for the areas who are going to involve the society, and that's what he calls societal transformation. And when society really gets into that, people start changing. Why? Because they see benefits, they see value, they see results. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I think this is the right way. This is something I know, in addition, well, because I am an economist and I study economy for everything, well, economics in the world, and I had experience in Mexico, in my country, working in programs like this, in a different scale, with a different situations, obviously, but I am very confident that this project will be a success. In addition, what he said now, that is going to teach HMT for a year to prepare people who are going to go and transform there, and even people who is living there, I think we came here for that transformation. And if we are in that sense, we should think just in the positive than thinking in barriers, because barriers don't allow people go further. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, for the people who are watching us on TV, if you have not yet on internet or whatever, if you have not yet registered for Nigerian project, for this project about Nigeria we are talking about, it's very easy to do. Just go to www.sundayadelajablog.com, sundayadelajablog.com/Nigeria, or you see the Nigerian flag somewhere there. You could be from any country. Go in there and you see the form. You need to fill out the form, electronic form. Fill out the form, submit it, and we'll find you. We'll find you when the time comes. So everybody that wants to be a part of this, just go to the blog, sundayadelajablog.com, from any country, and just fill out the forms.
Good evening, Pastor.
Thank you
so much, sir, for the opportunity to be here. I'm particularly dazed by the fact that there is no single sector or aspect of human life in the country that was not touched in the plan. The details involved makes it practically possible to the most unbelieving. Anyone, it only takes someone to see what has been sketched out. He just knows it is possible. It's like when someone wants to build a house, he doesn't know how it's going to happen, but when the architect shows him how it's going to happen, he believes it will happen. And that's exactly what you have done with these details. The fact that while there is work going on, there is plan for the education of the people, there is plan for mindset part, there is plan for virtually everything we can imagine. And any human person who has a vision in life will definitely find one area where it's relevant. It's all encompassing. Thank you so much, sir, for the detailedness. It makes it easy for anyone to connect. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
With all due respect, I want to say Pastor is a very dangerous man. Very true. If Pastor sets his heart on something, he's going to pull it through. How much more when he has now put systems in place, put plans in place, you can just be rest assured that his plans are going to come to pass. So because I always tell him, I said, all somebody needs to become a success in life is meet Pastor Sunday. Even if the person was cursed, destined to be a failure. And that's the fact. And he doesn't pray for you. It's not about prayer. It's just something about your association, your connection with him. It's something I've seen. And this same thing that works with individuals, it works with nations.
And she's right. I don't pray. And most people just want to come from laying on around. I don't do it.
So he has done it in Ukraine here. He has done it with countless of lives, including mine, including my family. And I know the same thing is transferable to Nigeria. I've been privileged to see these plans before. I've been privileged to talk to him about it. And I just know it is possible. Pastor is a dangerous man. He has said it. He has put everything in place. It's just a matter of time for us to see everything work. I already know my own special area of the transformation plan that I'm going to be working with, I'm going to be running with. So I'm just excited. Let us start. Nigeria will be great again. Thank you, Pastor.
Now, someone is asking here, Sam Salau, that I've not included the Nigerians in Nigeria. I think the Nigerians in Nigeria also could go to the blog and register as well. But apart from that, as students now, so I've done my own part by letting you know about the Nigerian project. Now, let's come back as students. Let's begin to think as students. Now, as students, you have been given the privilege and opportunity to go and observe how things function in systems, what systems can do, and how systems are changing a nation. You've gone to see with your own eyes. You've seen what is possible. You've also been taught how to build your own systems. and how to become one of those who know how to build system and how to function. So now the question is, what I have shown you now, is that in line, or is there any collaboration between what you saw or what you've seen since you came? What you heard in the classroom and what I am doing? Is there any way you could unite and connect all that in yourself, in your mind? Because that holistic connection will help you to be able to step out in faith. And I want those people, especially who have not spoken, I said all of you should keep standing and come to speak before you say it, but you didn't do it. So those who disobeyed and were stubborn and are stone-headed and on their own, it's now your turn to stand up and answer that question. Come there and answer the question. If you did not speak today, get up now before I identify you. Because I'm going to embarrass you big time.
Ladies first. All of you. I'm going to punish you if you don't come. Have you spoken?
Even before he asked the question, I think that was actually what was on my mind. So I think it was me who was personally pitching out. From the afternoon section I was around, one thing I want to appreciate, based on what I saw for the outline of the vision for Nigeria and everything.
A bit louder, speak louder.
Based on the vision for Nigeria and everything, it was actually really
what noise. Who is speaking there? Please.
What I appreciate about Pastor is that it's very, very purposeful and intentional. And you know, that part where the scripture says, whatever you lay your hands to do, do it well. And make sure it's done perfectly. If not, if you have no idea or no intention of doing something well, there's no need for going into it in the first place. But everything that was outlined from the first to the last vision was very purposeful to the detail. And that was actually very mind-blowing, because even while I was in the afternoon section, when he was talking about the system, building system, and, you know, a structure to, you know, bring about a very good working system, I was so wowed by it, because the reason why so many have, you know, tried and failed is because sometimes they do have a vision, but how to get there, that is the problem. But from everything I saw in the vision for Nigeria and everything, it was detailed even to the least bit of it, and it's something that made me really realize that with the intention and the purpose 100%, there is no need or there is no reason whatsoever that we won't be successful in it. And it was actually really very...
But do you connect that to your purpose, to your project, to your vision, to your life, to your destiny?
Yes, sir.
Are you learning from this?
Yes, sir. I'm actually learning a great deal from it, because the impact is going to be huge, and it's not just about me, myself, or my selfish interest, but about the life of others that we are called here to deliver and save. And it's really very beneficial to me, myself. Thank you, sir.
Looking at it, I was kind of blown away, because it's so detailed, it's so wide. You know, it's like she said, it must take a visionary to see something like this and put it together. I know it's going to work, because this place, Ukraine, is just a learning field, and he has done it here, so he can multiply it according to what we've been learning since. That anything that has been done before can be done again, and it can be done in a bigger scale. It's just by repetition, and knowing that HMT is very strenuous. If you know, from this HMT, you learn that the greatest resources you have is yourself. You know, and you can build yourself to whatever you want to be. You know, and it's just for you to continue to increase your capacity. to increase the values you add to yourself. And if he's taking HMT to Nigeria for 1 full year, he's going to be doing HMT. I'm sure he's going to bring
I'm going
us,
to be doing it for 3 years.
raise up great leaders that
1
are
year
ready
is
to
one,
take territories,
yeah.
to take different institutions in Nigeria. And it's going to be amazing to see that transformation.
Okay. So how are you going to take all that you saw, you learned, and you heard, and just, is that all going to have a bearing into your own life and destiny? That's what I'm more interested in hearing as well. You are left hanging.
Sorry?
Okay.
My life has been transformed already. You know,
You want to help her repeat the question? You want to repeat the question for her? No, you go ahead and repeat for her.
He wants you to relate it and, put yourself in the picture and,
Yes.
explain to us, what you're going to,
How is that going to affect your life and your ministry? What you have seen, heard, and learned.
From the HMT or from this Nigerian transformation?
From all of them.
My life has, I just realized that I've not been living to my full potential, to my full capability.
Give her the mic.
And that I've really changed myself for this length of time that God has given to me. And I'm leaving this place knowing that my capability is limitless. It's just for me to continue to add value to myself. And I'm leaving today, I just learned about the systems, and I realized a lot of things have not been working because we have not been passing through the steps. I have not been passing through the steps. So even wherever whatever I'm going to be doing now from henceforth is just going to be based on systems and the steps from the beginning to the end of it, or even up to the monitoring or multiplication of whatever I'm doing. I'm going to be going on systems and adding more and more values to myself with every day. I'm going to, no more time wasting anymore, because time wasters are just life wasters.
That is very important to me, because I want you to live here and get it. So all these things are models for you to follow. So it's important for me to hear. I want to know what you are hearing. I want to see what you are getting. And I want to be able to picture what you are going to. Are you planning? Do you know that you can do these things? Not just Pastor Sunday can do these things. So that was important for me.
Okay, for me, I've taken not much of planning, how serious we should be when we're planning something. Because much of the time, the work, it's 75% of whatever you want to do is in the planning. So if you don't plan, then you've already failed. You just can't jump into anything. So planning, for me, is just a big deal. You have to plan. Then the 25, it's not much of a big deal. So 75, that's 75 in the planning. We should pay much attention to it. Yeah,
Have you presented your magazine?
Not yet. No, not yet.
Okay, maybe you will do that tomorrow.
Yes, sure.
I really bless the Lord again to be here. It's not an accident. I'm not here by accident. And I'm really engaged, and I'm ready to pay the price, to work very hard, because we can't call it national transformation. As I was seeing the pictures, it's a national transformation, and I will improve my English. I want to come in Nigeria to see it and to.
Is good enough.
But
some people in Nigeria cannot speak such good English.
No, but I have so many things to say. It's very frustrating for me, and I'm very tired, but I will improve my English, and I will come to see Nigeria. I will come, and that's all.
Pastor? Guys, I understand the plan that Pastor Sunday has for Nigeria. He's done it in Ukraine, and all you need to do is duplicate it in Nigeria. He's already written the plan. It's not complicated. If you are interested in media, join his media team. If you're interested in catering or raising leaders in businesses or finance or politics, join the team. The plan is there. Since I've been there in Ukraine this morning, Pastor Sunday elaborated on life, that you work 75% on the plan and 25% on the actions. Yeah, so the plan's done. Is, although it's not fully completed and we don't know where the finance is going to come, it's already out there, and it's just about us basically being committed to seeing what we can do to help contribute. Me, myself, right now, I'm looking to establish myself first in the UK. That's just my honest truth right now. First in the UK, with what I'm doing with the internet. That's my own personal vision. But I do hope soon to join the Nigerian transformational team. And when I join, it will be in the media, publishing, movie sector, and even the book publishing sector, because that's what I do very well and independently.
Yeah, but I think you did not totally get my question. My question is this: with what you've seen done,
yes,
what you've been taught in the classroom, and how I've exemplified it in my own life, how is that impacting your own vision, whatever your vision will be, whatever what you want to do? Are you learning from it? Is it going? Are you seeing a model, an example before you to emulate?
Yes, I thought I said it when I said the planning, just being detailed and meticulous. With my own personal projects, I plan, but my plans are not that detailed. So sometimes I find myself working hard for a few weeks, then I stop, then I go back. But there's something you said earlier. You said in your presentation that you have a research marketing team that are looking at local states and looking at their needs. And with this plan, it just shows me that I need to be meticulous and detailed, and that's why I said before that it's about 75% of planning. So how I'm going to implement this in my own life is by taking probably a month out of my own personal life when I get back in solitude and create a plan for my life. Yeah,
Good evening, everybody. God bless you sir, for this wonderful job that you are doing. In fact, this is mind-blowing. I don't know where to start from. In fact, I was there and like freeze. In fact, this is faith in action. This is faith and works going together. You said something when you just came in. You said success will demand from you more than what you are willing to give. This is a big challenge to we the younger ones. This is a big challenge.
Yeah, maybe it's also a different. I thank you that you mentioned that. That might be a different way to do church for Christians and for pastors. That church should be done this way,
yes, sir,
rather than just the way of preaching and talking. Is that what this is meaning to you? Also?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is more than mere words. This is action that we can see. And thank God, I came 2013, and I saw most of these things that you wrote here already functioning, already working. And I believe if they are working here, I believe they can work anywhere.
Yes.
If you can do this in a foreign land, then you can do it in a place where we call a son of the soil.
Yeah.
Where nothing can really hold you back. So, sir, this is great. And it's a big challenge for me. It's a big challenge.
Are you taking back this experience? Because that's what I'm more concerned about. I am concerned that you people are not being entertained here. I'm really concerned that you'll be able to see how things are supposed to be done. And I'm concerned that you will go back and change and begin to function like what you have seen here. That's my concern. I don't just need you to admire what you have seen, but I'm more particular about you knowing this is the way to function if you want to become a history maker. And then to adopt that and at least know it in your mind that this is what to move towards. And this is my goal. This is my target. This is how I'm supposed to be living. That's what I want to hear as well.
Yes, sir. It's wonderful, sir. It's wonderful.
Austin, you are lost for words or what?
Wow. So when I found out about the idea that you was gonna go back to Nigeria and do the plans, do the things what you said, I never doubted you, but the question for me was, how are you gonna do that? Because I mean, I lived in Nigeria for a few years, so I got to experience, like, I got to be able to see the corruption that's there, the poverty, you know, the children. Like, I don't know if I should say this, but I might as well say it anyway. Like, I've seen like dead bodies and stuff, like on the roadside, on the motorway, and just, you know, like as if it's been there since, I don't know, probably months or weeks and stuff. So for me, seeing that shows the state of the
decadence
of the nation. Because, you know, before going to Nigeria, I've grown up my whole life in London, so seeing that is completely strange, weird. So when I went to Nigeria and I seen that, or, you know, the police system, you know, they, you know, just, you know, trying to bribe you and everything, or when you call the police, it will take a long time before they come. So I'm thinking the you know, the mental state of the country itself. I was thinking, like, you know, how are you gonna, you know, how are you gonna do that? Because I guess in order to change a nation, one of the fundamental factors you need to change is their mindset from the start, because that's the beginning of change, when you change the way you think of things. So for me, I was just wondering, like, how you're going to do that. So then this evening, you know, you showed us the slide and everything, and well, the basic template of what you're going to do, and you've broken it down into the most detailed level for you to be able to, okay, what about this section, and you can see how it is possible. So for me, you know, before I was wondering how is it going to be possible, and now I can see how possible it is. And I remember in the first session you mentioned that, you know, generally we just think geniuses are born, and, you know, we're not geniuses or something, and we see all these other people and we're like, oh wow, these are, you know, these people are better than us or something. But, you know, you've explained to us that we also can be geniuses, but we have to be able to understand that, identify that, and begin to believe that. And so for me, what I'm taking away from this is, I believe I need to expand my vision. I need to really expand it. And one of the first things I need to do is I really, really, really need to absorb all the information that I've heard today, and even from the start of the HMT, because I have to make an impact. I can't know this information and just go back to London and live a normal life. Because for me, it's as if, you know, they give you a weapon, and that weapon you can use that, or they give you a tool and you use that tool to, you know, cure the situation. You saw it there, and you just said, I can't be bothered with that. I'm gonna just, you know, relax here, or just, you know, just get on with life and do something else. And, you know, that opportunity to save people, to save a nation, is just, you know, they're suffering because you didn't fulfill your purpose. So it's as if, like, my destiny is connected to many other people's destinies. So if I don't pursue my destiny, then other people's lives are going to suffer. Other people may not be able to fulfill their destiny. And another point that you made was, you know, we have to give 100%. 100%. If we don't give 100%, it's like we're not hitting that point. We're not going to hit that point. So for me, I know that I need a real transformation in my mind. It's as if, for me, it's like right now it's like, you know, 50-50, but I need to get up to that point. I need to get to the point that I can be comfortable.
Has to be absolute commitment.
I have to be comfortable with being seen as a lunatic in society, because that's just what it is. Because if I just explain this to someone like, you know, we're gonna go to Nigeria and we're gonna change this, they're gonna think, how are you gonna do that? You're crazy. How can you even think like that? But in order to do that, you have to think like that. There's no other way around it. You can't think, oh, okay, I'm just gonna pray and we wait for God to do something, or we're just gonna fast, or we just hope, we just pray one day God's gonna send somebody. That somebody's you. Once you're saying we hope God's gonna send somebody, that person is you. So for me, and I'm not gonna lie, if you asked me when I was a kid that, are you gonna be doing something like this, or are you gonna, no, I'd have no clue of imagination. So for me, I have a lot to work on my own personal self before I can do that, because like you said, it starts with you first, before you can duplicate, before you can make these things happen. So I have a lot of work to do within myself. So, yeah.
I'm very excited that I got to see the project. I think I never thought this could be done, and the fact that you can actually you see this plan, you can actually visualize it. I can actually visualize it, and it is overwhelming, but it's been broken down into different chunks that can be digested by people who are working in individual sectors. And I thank you, because you even included my area and even areas that may not matter, like games and stuff like that, but they are all relevant. And I've learned that to pay so much attention to detail, even in the questions, every single question was addressed. So I'm definitely gonna, like when I was sitting in my chair, I'm ready to go to Nigeria. I'm ready to go to Nigeria. It's never been in my plans, but that convinced me. I felt like, could that be a place where I could go and live in comfortability?
One of the things that I really hope that you people gain from here is that in the morning, afternoon, I spoke to you people about the importance of systems, and that systems will allow you to resolve any problem or attain any goal. System enables you to do that. So now, you know, I gave you an example of 10,000 people, 1,000 people. Those were little things, but just for me to be able to communicate and pass the message across to you, just for you to know what is possible through system. But in the evening now, it's like the practical part of what I taught you in the morning. Of course, this is much more complex than 10,000 people. But the idea is still trying to tell you that systems will resolve. Even in the morning when I was talking about 10,000 people, it looks complicated to you. But when you now see this, you see that was not really complicated. But in the morning, I also told you about the importance of details. Don't leave out anything. You see everything. Now, it's good that you are noticing that even in this project, which is much more complex than the morning time, you see attitude, exactly what I told you in the morning, that details are important. And I need to know that you are actually connecting what you went to see on Monday, what you've been seeing since you came here, what I taught you in the classroom, and the example I'm living before you. It's important for me that you don't lose things like that, that you connect. You see yourself in all that as a holistic thing.
Yes, I believe it's all the same. It's like you can see the result. We went out and we saw the result. We came in and learnt the process. And today we can see what will be done and what can be done on a bigger scale. So that's definitely what I learned today.
So, which means you can now live your life that way, or strive to live your life in a similar way. Is that what we're talking about?
Yes, yes. And it's anyone can do it as long as they develop anyone can do it as long as we develop the system that needs to be put in place and apply the principles to it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm coming round the second time because, I was reading the book we were supposed to read for tomorrow, Only God Can Save Nigeria. And, sitting down just a few minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sitting down there just a few minutes ago, what I felt in my heart, you see that this is an issue of passion and compassion. They're those two things married together. It's not just, it's not about you in that way. There's a Pastor constantly talks about people who need to be delivered, people who are moaning and groaning under the pain of oppression. So there's an element of passion. There's also an element of compassion, to go in and get involved with this project. I'm getting involved on several levels, and looking at what Pastor showed us today, I could see more areas where I can get involved, but probably would have to be a matter of priority. But my initial thing was, like I said, financial education, entrepreneurship. There may be women projects, leadership projects, maybe within the church, maybe the HMT program. But because I started, I'm already working on things. I have several little ministries that I run along those lines, and I've listed them this evening, because this morning we looked at the fact that you have a goal, then you need to look at the time span and things like that. So I started working on that. But I think what was coming to my mind, I wish Pastor had a spreadsheet with this, that we can just fill in, the details. So I don't know if you have anything like that that might be helpful in helping plan the structure. If you have a spreadsheet or a template.
My concern is not that about Nigeria now. We are not talking. I'm not concerned about you going to Nigeria, about the Nigerian project right now. I'm just showing you the way you are supposed to live if you want to become a history maker.
Yeah, okay.
You went to see some things on Monday. You came to the classroom. You were taught some things. You are being shown how these things function. Even if you are going to become part of history maker, Nigeria, going to Nigeria, that's good. But what is more important than that is to change your content.
Yeah.
I want you to change you,
yeah.
your understanding, your world view, your approach to life, your paradigm, your mode operandi. The way you operate, the way you relate to life, the way you build things, the way you live your own life. You don't have to go to Nigeria, and you don't have to be part of it. But if we could get you to be changed, to see things differently, to be able to approach things holistically, to be able to plan things for yourself, to be able to know exactly what is required of you, to be able to do good things on a grand scale, judging by what you have seen, what you have heard, what has been demonstrated before you. If you could change from inside, the goal of history maker would have been attained. Okay. But the other things about the trip and all that, we'll get in touch with you people later on, and we'll do the detailed analysis of that.
Praise the Lord. I just want to thank God for the life of Pastor Sunday. When myself and my...
You have to speak louder because people are not hearing. When they come over here.
When myself and my associate pastor were coming, the major thing we had in mind was that...
You are a big man and you are speaking so weak. Speak loud.
The major thing we had in mind, we had it because like I told you, I met Pastor Sunday several years ago,
And I've been studying, he gave me his book, I've been studying and listening to his video. Then we, behind our mind, we prayed and then we asked God that we want to come and study what this man is doing. And then, because we know that if you are going to get anything from a man, you must know what the guy knows. And then number two, you must be able to do what he's doing. If you don't know what he knows and you can't do what he's doing, don't expect the kind of result that, because results are not mysteries. So when we went out into those places, and then today when we came into the class and he was teaching us about system, then the dot was connected. That the secret behind everything he's doing is the ability to resolve problems using systems. And that is the way he runs everything. And that is also the model of the plan that he presented tonight for Nigerian transformation.
You see the way he's joining everything together, the way he's talking holistically.
Yeah. So, and that is what myself and my associate pastor, we are taking back. We are going to put everything into system, because we discovered that system works because they will be based on God's principles and law, and it will replicate itself anywhere in the world. And then we will run the system, and like it made us to know that everything is about 75% planning, that the brain work is 75%, and then the actual action is 25%. And if we can put in that, we are going to get the same result. Thank you so much.
Very well. That's exactly what I was looking up forward to. Very well said. Very well. Only the voice was too weak for me.
Amen. I'm taking back the fact that, because as I was sitting there and just looking through the entire, thing that was being shown us, the system, I said to myself, a scripture just came where Jesus said to Simon and said, look, flesh and blood has not revealed this to you. And the question I asked was, it must, where and how? And the answer came from the place of solitude. Yes. And so I said to myself, I often go into solitude, especially since our April visit, and I've been spending time with. For months. I was even
no sound.
Yeah.
There is. Okay, don't worry. Go ahead.
And so
far from your mouth.
Is it far?
A little bit far. Yeah.
Well, I should lower it.
Yeah.
Is it all right good. Now?
That's good. Yeah.
Right. And so, to me, solitude is not just about being in God's presence and then coming out. But what are you coming out with? Many of us go into it, and the only thing we do is pray and pray and pray. But do we come back with something tangible, in the sense that, I'm sure that all this you must have documented whilst being in God's presence. Yep. You didn't wait until you got home, which was, I think, the error had been, I would stay in God's presence and then, I'll be in prayer, then come out to then document. But I think you were documenting as you were in His presence. Yep. So I'm going back with that your place of solitude and intimacy is not just, for you to pray for
and do spiritual
and
things.
Exactly. You
need to be creative.
And let it be productive. Yes. And come out with substance. Yes. So that really, if that's all I've come here to get this time, I think it would have been worth it, because you have a lot of projects and ideas and visions, and things are given to you. It's not that God does not give us visions, but the planning and what we write down and how we get to accomplishing, I think that's where the issue is. And so I'm just so grateful for that, that the Holy Ghost was able to drop that into my spirit, man, that you actually stayed in His presence and downloaded all these things. You didn't wait till you would come out before downloading. And I brought out this and felt to just encourage us with that. That if there's any time that our national anthem should be meaningful to us, it should be now. And it says, "Arise, O compatriots." I don't know it all by heart, so that's why I'm reading it. Nigerians call obey, but I feel that this vision is calling now.
Fire.
And and we should obey to serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. The labor, not just the labor of our heroes past, but our heroes now. And I know it won't be in vain, so we can pray that shall never, but I know it will not be in vain. To serve with heart and might a nation bound in freedom, peace, and unity. And the second verse says, "O God of creation, direct our noble cause." I know the direction is already here. So we already have it. Guide our leaders right. God's already guiding him. Help our youth the truth to know. Now our youth will know the truth as we invade Nigeria. In love and honesty to grow and living just and through great lofty heights attain. Now for real and for real, we can attain great heights. Our youth can attain great heights. Graduates will no longer be unemployed because they will be illuminated. The poor will no longer be stranded. When I saw that project where the destitute, the hungry, the poor will be fed, I don't know, but it touched my heart. That no one has to beg on the street anymore. If this is going to be in every state, then it means that, it covers everyone here. Everyone in Nigeria is involved, whether the elderly, the poor, whoever. So I just want to appreciate God for you. I'm going back, illuminated, and especially with that act of solitude, knowing that when I get in God's presence, I'm coming back with substance and produce, and 75% of it will have been achieved whilst in God's presence. God bless you.
Whilst being here in these couple of days, I've seen that Pastor Sunday, through his systems and methods and practices, he's come to a foreign country from his own, and he's reached to people that are not Christian country to begin with. And that means the systems that he's put in place, they are working. I've seen it firsthand through various ministries. He's reached millions of people, and he started in the place of Ukraine, which is not a Christian country, led by a leader who is not of their own race. So therefore, I know that these systems are working, and I can take them with confidence to my country and to where I live and put them in practice, and I know that they will work, they will achieve the same goals, and I'll achieve the same results because they can be replicated in any country, anywhere we go.
That's exactly what we did. Thank you. Any other person left? Okay. Thank you. Now, so, welcome to HMT. The first day you came, I told you will get so much information. And somebody was saying, we want to know how to do things. I said, you will know so much, you have so much information on how to do things that you will just be begging God and God should help you to now be able to implement those things. I think we are living up to that. But tomorrow, it continues again. So make sure you sleep. Get a good sleep. It's harder. No time, but sleep. You need to regain that strength. Tomorrow is another rich day. Who is leaving tomorrow? What time? This morning. In 2 hours. And you too in 2 hours. All of you are leaving in 2 hours. You want to take pictures with me? Now? I'm okay. Where is the photographer? Where is your camera?
It's a professional camera, Pastor.
Because where is the camera? Okay, I think we have to say bye to people on the Facebook. So for those on the Facebook, we want to say thank you for being with us. We'll be back tomorrow morning. God bless you. Paka, that's with Daniel.